Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, once again, welcome to the Essex Sport Arena for our volleyball doubleheader this afternoon. Before the games start, thank you, lovely excitement. Before the games start though, we'd like to take a minute's silence. If you are able to please stand on your feet, and as we pay our respects to our fallen fellow students that tragically passed away in the month of February last year. TJ, DJ, and may their souls rest in peace, and may we play their honor. Thank you very much. And without further ado, it's time to introduce onto the floor today's teams for our Super League volleyball live matchup, the Essex Rebels and the Malory Eagles.
Good afternoon and welcome to the final Super League Live of the season here at the Essex Sport Arena. We have a double header, a bit of a rivalry, Essex Rebels and the Malory Eagles, as we've rolled into the third month of the season. 3 points are what both teams are looking for to try and close out the title race in the Dynamic Men's Super League. I'm Michael Hunt, I'm delighted to be joined by Tara King for this one. And Tara, Essex Malory, always a matchup that is circled in the diaries of both teams.
Yes, it is, yeah, especially this season, seeing as they've had, well, practically 3 matches up that have gone to 5-setters across UEL and Malory games in the past season, so this should be an exciting game.
And obviously these two sides met in December, Malory winning it 3-2, it was 15-9 in the 5th set, and as Tara said, these two sides very similar for the Bucks Championship as well, and UEL beating Essex in 5 both times, so no doubt Alex Porter and the hometown Rebels will be looking for a bit of revenge ahead of potentially what will be a lot of meetings between these two sides, with the Bucks final potentially,
yes,
but possible cup final and of course final 4.
Yeah, I mean UEL are playing next week and that will decide whether or not they are up against our men as well with our men playing, but we are the shoe-in for the finals, and I'm sure UEL feel similar about it as well, so...
You never know with semi-finals, but it's certainly a matchup that if you go on league form, we'll be delighted. But we'll have a look at the Super League, and we'll start by having a look at the league table. And it is what is a pivotal weekend around the dynamic men's Super League. And we've already had one result today that won't be quite up to date, but Newcastle Knights beat Nottingham 3-0, a copy of last week's Super League, a live game in Nottingham. So Newcastle will move very close to the top 4 and securing it. I think they are now just 2 points away from clinching that top 4 spot. We're just trying to get the league table brought up to have a look at. But Tara, obviously it's a very different dynamic this year in the Super League, that 3 teams are going down.
Yes, it is, yeah, and I think a lot of both men's and women's leagues are feeling a bit of pressure in it, and the teams, the tables are everywhere at the moment as well, especially in the men's. They can't decide what they want to do, really.
So you see the league table there, and obviously it's interesting with Richmond Docklands and IBB Bologna London both making multiple late additions ahead of the deadline to the squad. They are both on a little bit of form, and Essex plays as well. 5 games left. They've got a couple of games in hand. They are playing currently in Stockport, and we also will see the Essex Derby in a couple of weeks, which was tight the first time that was played as well. So opportunity for Blaze to pull themselves out of the relegation battle.
Yes, it is, yeah, and interesting they're playing on a Tuesday night there, so we'll see, because they shouldn't have too many people watching them, so it should be an interesting game with no crowd for the Essex Rebels to be feeding off of. So yeah, it's tight, and I think especially because they train together, Essex Blaze and Rebels, they're constantly training side by side, so they know each other's tactics and players and everything about each other, so they can really pick each other apart.
Yeah, but for now we'll focus on what's in front of us. First v second in the Men's Super League. Essex Rebels currently 4 points ahead of the Malory Eagles. 13-1 record for Alex Porter and the side. They need 3, just a couple of wins to clinch that top spot. But Tara, obviously you're around the programme every day. What have you seen from the men in terms of growth this season?
Well, a big thing is they've tried to introduce some slides into the middle plays, which has been really interesting. It's not something very well seen. So it's interesting to see when they use that, and I think it might be something that comes in the late game as a interesting play for them to establish during the Final Four, because it's new to the entire league. Along with the big connection between the two brothers, Jacob and Cam, on the setter and outside, they're very close. They connect very well because of their obvious bond, and it's interesting to see how they can establish that any further.
Brothers knowing each other, probably a handy bit, and obviously really good. And obviously you've got the middles as well, Dave and Pascal, the other Canadian, and of course TJ, both of which but they had big games last week. Rebels coming out 3-2 against Richmond. Yeah,
and that was with a 12-person squad as well, because they had lots of illnesses last week. They're missing their main outside, Thomas Shatterman, as well, but Hassan Farhat came in through the outside, so it'll be interesting to see if that's any substitutions we see today.
Yeah, Hassan's filled in a couple of times for different people on this roster. A really important depth piece for the Rebels.
Yeah, he's really smart with his offense as well. He knows how to use a tip and draw a player in and out of the defence and not quite know if he's going to go long or deep or on top of them. So it is interesting to watch him play on the court.
And for the Rebels, 2 home games left on the season, undefeated at home this year. And maybe what the most impressive stat for the Rebels is they are 21-3 in sets, so just 3 sets dropped here at home as they try and push for the top 2 spot. But obviously the mentality of trying to win the league is so important, having that advantage going into Final Four from a mental standpoint.
Yeah, I think as well it's really important for them that they were qualified before their last few games, so that they knew that they could just sort of relax and try out new plays, and it'll be interesting to see how they decide to establish themselves in these last few games before the Final Four, along with Malory as well, who were qualified before them. It's interesting to see these 2 teams play each other, because this is sort of a chance to feel each other out before they have to potentially match up again at the weekend. Yeah,
we will now talk about the visitors, the Malory Eagles. Head coach, of course, by Jefferson Williams, experienced coaching staff with Harold Gordon and Ian Legrand also on the bench. But Malory coming in 11-3 on the season, 33 points. And a surprising result last week, dropped points against Essex Blaze, winning 3-2, but from a 2-0 lead. Malory, a type of team that would have wanted that wrapped up early.
Yes, I believe their loss of their main libero is quite a hard hit for them, as he was such a good player and he really came into this league and showed off his stuff very early on. He's obviously very experienced Canadian libero, and he really brings a certain level of stability in the pass. It'll be interesting to see them today against a high-up rivalry match to see how they fare without that person on court.
Indeed, it's Remy Cadeau who potentially is done for the season. We haven't got an official word on that, but it's missed the last few games. But Dan Hunter also not in the squad, the former GB libero. So Bryce Bowen has been filling in. He'll be wearing number 20, but Bryce, phenomenal game against Essex last week, got served 48 times in that 5-set victory, passed to 2.3.
That's really impressive. Yeah, no, that's really good. It's nice that he's also established within the group and has played with them for a while. They won't feel quite as weird about having him in a different position because he's a good friend with them all. So it's a good level of understanding for them to establish him in a different position.
Indeed, obviously that Malory 3-2 win, 15-10 in set number 5. But interesting for Malory on a double header as well. So as we go down this stretch, even if things go well today, they can't rest because they've got Richmond Docklands tomorrow.
Oh, do they?
Obviously,
I didn't know
we
that.
saw that Essex struggled with last week. So
Yeah.
a big weekend for Malory if they want to try and put some pressure on the Rebels for this number 1 seed.
Yeah, I think if they definitely want to make a stand before Final Four, they'll want to go out there and close down a Richmond game in 3 sets to sort of show Essex, like, look what we can do that you couldn't do last week. I think that's really, it's now just a bit of power play between them and the Final Four standings. So it's interesting to see how they'll establish their gameplay and their dominance between now and the Final Four groupings.
So we'll have a quick look at our ones to watch. We'll start for the Rebels, where number 15, Ewan Fraser, obviously moved positions over to the opposite, but it's had a really strong season, hitting just a tad under 250 for the Rebels. 120 kills on the season. But what experience does Ewan bring to this squad, obviously being a long-term veteran of the Rebels?
I personally love watching Ewan play in a different position. He's such a confident setter, and I think he's really brought that confidence into a fairly different team from last year. They lost quite a few important players, so it's nice that they brought back Ewan unexpectedly at the beginning of the season because it allows them to establish a bit more connection between old players, and he's really good at befriending and growing connections with the postgrads that have come in, such as JK and Cam, so it's nice as a setter for him to be able to help in a new setter onto the squad.
And a huge challenge going against arguably the best opposite in the league in Nathan Fullerton as well for Ewan. Fraser last time out against Malory, 11 kills on 27 swings, so not his best game, but someone that can definitely rebound. On the other side for Malory, we'll look at one of the outside, Dalton Bund, also wearing 15. Dalton, also a UEL scholar, huge game last time out with 13 kills. And he, again, Rebels tried to guard him in serve receive, 37 serve receive attempts. But kind of a glue player for this Malory on the outside position, having that balance opposite Fullerton. They needed another big arm, and Bunt's definitely got that.
Yeah, I think he's definitely a concern for the Essex Rebels, and he's obviously also a real hustler on court. He brings a certain amount of energy in the defence for Malory, and he really tries really hard at every single thing he does. So it's really important for him to make plays that Nathan necessarily wouldn't make defensively, so he sort of fills that gap in for them in the energy standpoint.
Yeah, Dalton Bunt second in the Malory team in digs at 74 on the season. Also second in kills at 126. So Malory definitely will try and get that going. Obviously the balance attack with Ben Kwame on the opposite wing. And again, it's interesting that both these teams have said only played once, but really it's 3 times for the majority of these players. Really, it's only Nathan Fullerton that mainly playing missing. So both these teams got experience of strengths and weaknesses.
It definitely feels like for the Essex Rebels that we've played Malory 3 teams rather than 2 separate teams. I think especially when you have the same coaching staff on one team, it really feeds into that sort of mindset that you've played a team 3 times.
As we welcome our officials onto court, we've got William Peregrini and Richard Dabrowski will umpire this, and of course the women's game afterwards. And Tara, when you look at these two sides, we expect it's going to be close. What are going to be the key areas for either team to come out victorious?
I mean, I definitely think if Essex Rebels make their service in on most points, you know, you can't expect spin serves, not the most accurate serves in the world. They can't be expected to go in every time, but they need to be aiming at certain players on court and really pick out the defence and serve receive line early on for Essex Rebels. Malory are definitely going to have to establish their block up, because as soon as they do that, they're going to create an instant issue with the Rebels team.
As the Malory starters introduced, they will go with number 4, Logan Clark in the middle. 19 setting Joel Martinez. Interesting dynamic for Malory. They have 3 setters on the roster today, and they have mixed it up recently. Number 15, of course, we just talked about Dalton Budd. Number 18, Dylan Cohen. Nathan Fullerton wearing 23 today, not ignorable number 8. number 1 Ben Kwame, and at Libra, I've already mentioned it, number 20 Bryce Bowen, as we get ready to welcome to the Essex Rebels. But Taro, just talking briefly about the middle battle as well. Logan Clark and Dylan Kern for Malory, TJ Thomas Jefferson and David Pascal for Essex. All 4 are super efficient in what they do, so how important is going to be trying to establish dominance in that middle position early on for both teams?
Yeah, I can see TJ's definitely going to want to come out and show his own standing on his offense this one. He's been working super hard on making sure he's such a versatile player in tips and hitting the ball into space, and he'll really want to establish that. Davin Pascal is obviously a weapon of his own with his height, and he comes on for the Rebels and makes a huge difference. I think the Malory middles are so smart in their blocking. I know Logan Clark really knows how to shut some people down when he wants to get up there, and I think that's a huge thing for Malory, is establishing Logan Clark early on in the blocking. And I know that other middle, sorry, correct me, who is it?
Dalton.
Dylan, sorry. He's really good at hitting the ball into space as well, and he's such a versatile player. I know for UEL he sometimes plays through the opposite, and I think that's really important for them.
Yeah, and I think this sums it up. In the first matchup between the two teams, Cohen and Clark, 18 kills on 33 swings for a 485.
Yeah, very impressive.
TJ and Pascal, 18 kills on 34 swings for a 441. Just one extra error for TJ and Devon combined.
It's a real balanced out offense for both the teams there, using their middles like that. It's very clear that they've got a very established offense across the board, and they can know how to use them properly. So it's interesting to see how they match up in terms of blocking and swinging, because we know both teams know how to use the full offense of the middle.
Indeed, and obviously both setters as well, pivotal in setting that up. We've got Cam Kern on the Rebel side as the Essex Rebels just about finishing their introduction. We expect the Rebels to go with their normal starting 7, so it'll be left Duras Iano at the libero position wearing 3, and he'll be joined by 13 David Pascal, 27 Thomas Chamberlain back in the lineup, did miss last week with illness, as Tara said earlier on, 15 Ewan Fraser, 8 Thomas Jefferson, and then the brothers, 97 Cam is the setter, and the all-impact outside, number 29, Jacob Kern, our player of the game last time we were here, as the Rebels beat Durham in that game, and Jacob's a huge weapon, but he can go hot and cold. Last week, his serve in particular really struggled. 9 errors in Richmond, so how important it is to get that established early and just get ball in play.
Yeah, I can definitely say that their training focus has been for the last few weeks, for a few weeks and this week in particular, is making sure their service is consistent and getting in the court, especially with spin serve. You can't control it like a float serve. You can't necessarily aim it to the player you want, so just making sure that they're getting it in and aggressive is all they needed this week, so that's been their main focus. JK's such a weapon, and his serve is so fast in this league that they need it to be consistent, so I'm sure he's really focused on that. He's an experienced player, and he'll know how to look at that as a particular skill he's needed to work on in the past week.
Indeed, as we're nearly ready to get underway here at the Essex Sport Arena. Interesting to see. Malory Eagles have a slight edge in your votes at home, just ever so slightly leading that. Keep filling that in, and also let us know your thoughts in the comments. We'll keep an eye on that throughout the game. As we're about to get underway, it'll be Cam Kern to serve, as this huge rivalry between Malory and the Essex Rebels about to get underway. Reminder, Essex Rebels stole the bronze medal from Malory last year in the reverse sweep. As we are underway here at the Essex Sport Arena, Kwame with a perfect pass to Martinez, then a dump to start us off.
That's a strong play for Malory to go off of for the first point. It's very impressive from their setter to have such confidence on that ball.
And how important is it, that first pass, to just be picture perfect?
It's really important, I think, as well, because especially as if your offense is starting on a wonky pass, you're not going to be able to get the swing up like we saw then. It was a slightly off the net pass, and so therefore JK could only recycle it off of the block.
As Button sets up his first swing, Jefferson gets a hand to it. That's going to go over. I think that was played over the net by Thomas Jefferson. Yes, it was, quite clearly.
Slight net touch by TJ then as well. He just wanted to get the ball over and done with, I think.
Net touch, ball on the wrong side of the court. Pick your violation. It's 2-0 Malory. It's Logan Clark to serve. Clark, interesting, just a float server for only 4 aces on the season, but success rate of 97% for the middle. As Kern has to tip it over. Martinez gets it over the ball, hits the line as Kern watching it, praying it goes out, but Malory off to a quick start, 3-zip.
Yeah, I think the Rebels are going to need to bring some intention back into their play with this one, or they're going to start losing a few more points. They seem to be a little bit unfocused in the offense.
Ianu, not the greatest pass. That is over, out of system, but free ball for Malory. Fullerton from the back line goes cross courts and should have been The ball dies on him and he sends that under the net.
They tried something interesting then because Cam dived off the side of the court. He tried to get his defence to move around. I don't think Tom quite caught on to what he was needed to do then.
And a perfect start for Malory. Rebels going to try and go quick ball. Fraser
Player
on
of the
the
match.
opposite. There's a huge swing. And that's why we pick Ewan Fraser, the player of the game. Swings like that early on. First ball, he gets to really attack and gets a big point for the Rebels just to settle them down. As Jacob Kern will head back to the service line. 70% success rate on his serves. As Kwame, another picture perfect pass. Fullerton can't get a swing on it, and Rebels will push over. Kwame again, Malory third time going from the back row as Fraser finds hands and just pushes it a little bit wide.
That's a good aggression from him then. He was off the net, he needed to aim for hands or just give the shot a go, and he just gave it a go. It's unfortunate it went outside the court.
So, Kern again, back to serve, and just misses the baseline going big. And it's always a coach's predicament. You've got servers that want to go big and try and force pressure on defense, but you've also got to balance out that error rate. And 7 out of 10 serves is definitely an area Kern can improve on going into the playoffs. If he can just ratchet it up at the back end of the season, that'll help us. Rebels go to Fraser again, and that block finds the inside of the line. I think it was Bunt that got there, combining with Cohen at the net.
Ewan's very good at annoying other teams blocking. He's very good at getting around that block and using it against the other team. It's part of his speciality in offense, which I've always been impressed with as someone who's coming out of a setter position. He really understands how to use a block, which isn't something he's necessarily faced before.
As Pascal with a huge stuff on Cohen. That was an aggressive play by the Malory middle, taking the ball in serve receive, but David Pascal, the block leader in the Super League, says not so quick, not in our house, as Bowen gets to serve receive. Fullerton first big swing. Jefferson with a one-handed stab.
It's a good up from Jefferson. It's another block from Davin. He's well waiting on that middle.
As Cohen gets it the second time of asking, but Essex Rebels defense asking questions of Malory, make them swing 2 or 3 times in the point, and over a long game that could definitely be an impact, I think, mentally as much as physically.
Yeah, we've seen a few long rallies already. It's nice to know each team is ready for the other's offense.
As Bunn goes float serve. Great pass by Shudderman into the block. Fullerton tries to keep it alive but can't.
That was a good up by Fullerton, to be fair. That's their main attack on the Rebels offense, is pulling in JK from the pipe attack.
Fullerton, the digs leader for Malory, over 100 on the season from the opposite. As Kwame misses on the cross court.
It was a nice try for that swing, though. He had his line taken away from him by Cam. It was a good lineup. He only had that swing as the only option.
Last week, not Ben Kwame's best game against the Blaze. 8 errors on 28 swings. And another error there as Ewan Fraser tries to go top spin but doesn't quite get the rotation on the ball, and another service error for the Rebels.
They're going to be needing to get 2 or 3 serves in a service run if they want to rack up more points than the Malory at the moment.
As Kern pulls his brother off the 3-mid line, Shudderman tries to play for hands but doesn't get the touch.
Yeah, that's a big shot for Tom. If he's got a big block up in front of him, he's got the height to get on that ball because he's got a big jump on him, so he can really aim for the high hands and try and get off that block, but unfortunately he just missed on that one.
As Dylan Cohen.
It's a good strong float serve.
Going quick ball for Pascal, great offense by the Rebels, but Cam Kern, that's a picture perfect set.
You can see Davin opens up here to the setter and then really flicks into that ball because Cam's been taken off the net. It's a great play from the Rebels.
As should have been back to the service line. normally another big server, but we've seen him take some off and go a little bit safer. Looks like he's going to go aggressive early. Net cord, Bowen plays it, but it's going to go over. Dug up by Fullerton, keeps the point alive. Pascal through the middle. Bowen with another huge dig, but Rebels will get the free ball in system, tight set, and there Pascal will make no mistake.
Problem with trying to get on to the block with Davin Pascal is that he's too tall, so he can aim around you. His jump gives him extra time as well. He can look and see where you're lining up and aim around it. It's really tricky to block him.
Third point of the day for Pascal as Shedamine goes into the net. 50th serving error of the season for the British outside, but again, another high-risk, high-reward server. He was a big part of that Final Four comeback 11 months ago at the National Volleyball Centre. Pascal again finds success. And
smart deep swing. He's gone short every time. He's pulled the defence in, and then he's just popped one in the back of the court, and they can't get back there quick enough to pop it up.
And at this point, Devon Pascal having a huge success. You've got to wonder if Malory trying to make some adjustment as Bud with the poor serve receives. And Rebels with the ace with their first lead of the day, 10 points to 9.
I think perhaps Davin gave the height on top of that serve then, and the serve receive on Malory just a little bit too much time to think about it, and they overthought and then took the ball on the wrong side of their platform.
First ace of the season
in
the Super League. It was going to happen at some point. As make
he's racked up two.
And the Rebels bench really enjoying that one. They know it's a rarity. Often see Pascal get replaced late in sets for Ben Osborne or Nathan Hall on the Rebels side. We'll see if that happens later, but way to stay in. Get some success on the service line. 2 aces for Pascal as Bowen this time takes it right onto the free mid line. Fullerton has to wait for it, but that's a huge cross-court swing.
Yeah, that's a good play from Malory. They split their pins up, as you can see, and Nathan just comes in on that opposite side when you think it would be set to the outside. TJ's just a little bit late, and he can see where to swing.
Devon Pascal already got 6 of the Rebels, 11 points, but being a middle, heads to the bench on rotation.
We'll see what TJ can do now.
As Kwame goes along, first serve error for Malory.
Both teams are going to have to tighten up their service if they want to get ahead in quite a few of these runs.
As first full rotation is complete, Rebels lead 12 points to 10. And another service error. The 4th error already for the Rebels on serve. Second, I believe, for Cam Kern. No correction, I'll be nice to Cam. That was his first service error.
There we go. Okay, that's fine. You can't miss the first serve of the game, unfortunately.
As Kern
Smart
into the
swing.
block. And again, the complexity of choosing the top shot selection, playing the hand, trying to go read the block, but Jacob Kern really mastered it.
Yeah, I think especially when you have a tight set like that and then the block is right up in front of you, you've only got one choice, and that's to test them. So knowing where to hit the ball into that block is really important.
As Bund, a third serve receive error goes over. Kern has to tip it over. Martinez tries to go for the kill, nearly caught Jacob off balance, but TJ beats the middle block.
Yeah, that's a smart swing from TJ. He was quite late to that set, so he only had one choice to tip it, and he used the block against him in that one. We can see JK was caught a little bit late then coming over as he fell over during his pipe attack, but he managed to get that ball up.
Yeah, it's a really aggressive play by Martinez, but probably the right decision with Kern, not in the best defensive position, but couldn't quite put it to the side enough as he goes along on the serve. Fullerton jumping out the way.
It's always embarrassing when an opposite gets caught by a serve that's going out.
Plenty of experience or not?
Oh, me and Lexus from the other opposite on the Essex Rebels women's team have been caught out quite a few times. Yeah, everyone gives everyone a good laugh.
Duck diver, weavers.
Just get out of the way and play limbo.
As Martinez goes serve. Fraser sits on it, tries to go line. but just pushes it wide.
It's a shame that I've seen Ewan really smack a ball down the line. He clips it every time. When he finds that shot, it's really deadly.
As Kern gets the 3-point pass, and Fraser this time makes no mistake finding the seed.
It's a lovely clean shot into space. We can see Ewan just goes up, sees where the gap is in the block and swings for it as the middle's not even there with him.
As Bunn tries to take it from Bowen, but Dalton Bunn up struggling as Fullerton goes into the triple block but gets it recycled, tries to tip it down the line. Cam Kern able to rescue, so Jefferson will set, and Shudderman is trying to play for hands.
He's been working on that set, TJ, so he's going to be upset about that one, but it was a good high ball from him.
As Bunn try and get something going, goes serve, Pascal plays it inside the 3-mid line, gets it back, nearly an illegal touch, but referee's happy, and Pascal blocks Kwame.
That's part of his massive ability to block then, is that even if you tip on Davin, he's got such good hang time in the air and he's got such high hands that you can just pop that tip straight back down. You've got to be very clever with how you do it if you want to get it over him.
Pascal coming in, the blocks leader in the Dynamic Men's Super League, 1.2%. There's only 2 players in the Super League with over 1, so he's had a dominant blocking performance as Fullerton beats Fraser.
Yeah, it's going to be a real opposite matchup in this game, I'm afraid. We're going to see lots of big swings coming at each other, testing each other, pushing each other. It'll be interesting to see who finishes with more kills in the end. Probably Nathan. He does get set quite a lot on the Malory offense.
Yeah, Nathan Fullerton, 231 kills coming in.
That's outside numbers.
Shudderman tries to go hands, and this time does get them as Fullerton and Clark try to set up the block.
You see Fullerton puts his thumbs up there to the ref saying, good call, you've seen that. Thomas Shatterman back to serve.
Shudderman, 71% success, got very close to the baseline, but the ball didn't on the opposite end of the court.
If Rebels want to make their gap any bigger in the scoreboard, they're going to have to get these serves in and start playing some ball. Their side out, I think, has been much better during this game from what we've seen.
I believe that's the 6th serving error for the Rebels. Shudderman, Kern to his knee, sets his brother.
Big swing over the block.
Can't make the dig. He was in a good position, but just such a hammer arm from Jacob.
His height as well just gets him over the top of that block, and it didn't even make much of a difference to him that he had 2 people up in front of his main body line. Then he just swings straight over it.
As David Pascal, 2 aces and a sub off. It's a little bit harsh, Alex Porter.
I think we're playing it safe here. Ben Osborne's usually got quite a good serve. I don't think he's had his best performance so far in the Super League, but he's very clever about how he plays.
Yeah, Osborne has definitely built out a role as the serving specialist for the Rebels, but Malory's side out with Kwame getting his first kill of the day.
That was a nice one there. He just snuck it past the block, and Ewan wasn't quite ready to pick it up.
So it will be Kwame having won the point. Back to serve, goes long, and that ball misses the baseline, but not by much. That was a confident lead.
Very tight lead. Lefty Arnie's very rarely ace, so if he says leave it, you tend to trust him on that one.
Job of a good leader, right?
Yeah.
Understand when I don't need to touch the ball. As 19-17, Kwame.
Oh, that's a great touch by the setter there.
Control, Martinez nearly got there, but a huge ace for Cam Kern. And the Rebels lead by 3. And Jefferson Williams will want to talk it over. Biggest lead of the set for the Rebels on that ace. As Essex, you see the risk reward with that serve. Ace to error balance, always a difficult thing to try and be happy with.
Yeah, it's very tricky. There was an NCAA match recently where they missed 62 serves across both teams in 3 sets. And if you really think about it, there's only 75 points to be gained by a team. And every set, so to have most of them be missed serves, it's not the most interesting volleyball game.
As we will keep you up to date with what's happening around the Super League. I will make no bones, myself and Tara have got one eye on what is happening in Derby, as Essex have taken set 1 against Cambridge ARU on the south coast, but Essex unfortunately already relegated.
They are my home team, actually. They were the team that I played for before I came to this uni, so it's been nice to be able to see them on and off throughout the season for various games. But
oh, you get to play them next week as well.
yes, I do. I get to see them all again.
But we're keeping one eye on what is a huge game in the Malory Women's Super League, and that is in extra points at the University of Derby, as Malory get the side out, trailing by 2. Lots of timeouts left, so
I saw that coach's point, though, from the Malory squad.
As Logan Clark, who's been quiet, nearly forces the set, but Kern goes into Kwame. It's a huge swing, but Cam Kern does a terrific job to keep the ball alive.
Yeah, that's one of his specialities in the setting. He's very good at getting side onto the net and using his hands to contort the ball back into the space that he wants it to go in. It's why they rarely get overpass balls, because he's very tall and he can get very close to the net.
So Jacob Kern, a couple of serve errors already. Can he fix it? This time he does, but a good pass by Kwame. Malory going middle. Cohen is blocked, but recycled. Fuller turn is duffed by Shunamin, and that will probably close the set out for the Rebels. They lead by 4 late on.
That was nice blocking by TJ there. You can see him. He went with the middle, and then he got up and he closed down on that block with Tom on the outside. Good lineup from Shatterman.
Yeah, it looked like Shatterman was the one wanting that one. That will be block 17 on the season for him. Jefferson, the leading blocker in terms of solo blocks, as another big serve. Another good pass, but Bunt has to backpedal on it, but finds the space between the two brothers.
That was a great swing. He really went up and he took it no matter what. That was really nice. Rebels offense were caught off guard then. Sorry, defense.
As Malory trying, claw themselves back. Another quick ball through the middle. Martinez over on 1. Rebels in full system. Fraser
clean swing from Ewan there. We see TJ couldn't quite kill the ball, and Ewan went up and just finished it off for him.
As Pascal back onto rotation in the middle, and it'll be Thomas Jefferson back.
It's a lose-lose situation for Malory with these middles, isn't it? They just keep going round and round from blocker to offense there.
As Jefferson goes off Bund, another service error. Sherman plays it. I think that was going wide, looking at his feet, but doesn't matter as Pascal finds another kill. Dominant set by the Essex middle.
It's a great play from Essex, establishing David straight away after he's just been off the court.
As the ball well saved, but it'll be a free ball for Malory. Have not had many opportunities fully in system. Martinez, Kwame from the pipe, finds the back corner.
Took full advantage of the middle being in defense then and aimed straight at just TJ's side. He just got caught out then.
As a huge moment potentially in the Malory Women's Super League just happened. Durham were 24-20 up against Darkstar. Darkstar win the set by 2 as Kwame goes into the block of Kern to save set 1 here.
It's a big set for Darkstar as well. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they're fighting off relegation, aren't they? So that's
and they dragged Durham into it with a win, so we'll keep an eye on that. But important here now as Rebels try to close out the set. Dalton Bund on serves, got to have 3 good serves. Will the Rebels go to Pascal?
There
yes,
we go.
They will. Set 1 Essex.
Safe option for them.
As easy
see there that
as
even
you
if
like.
Cam is pulled off, you can still set Davin, which makes him a huge weapon.
As that is set 1. Started a little bit slow for the Rebels, but closed it out. And obviously the set for Devon Pascal. Total of 9 points. Obviously a couple of aces thrown in. 2 blocks as well. 83% on the attack, 6 kills total. Can you ask much more, Tara?
Not from a middle, really. It's expected that he goes left foot, kills the ball almost 4 times out of 5, and with Davin's height and his ability to just go up and swing down on top of the ball, it's always impressive watching him. And it's nice to see that Cam has been using him when he's off the net as well, because the middles will not be expecting that on the Malory side, and they've been caught out quite a few times. It'll be interesting to see what Jefferson and Carroll say to them in the next set to get them to try and stop that force.
Yeah, 6 points apiece for Kwame and Fullerton for Malory. 7 for Ewan Fraser as well. So really efficient. Sorry, that's 7 sweeps for Ewan Fraser. Looking at the wrong column on our lovely live stats. 4 for Ewan Fraser. And reminder, both these teams are at Crystal Palace. Tara is going to Crystal Palace as well. The Rebels women clinched their spot last weekend with a big victory at Leeds. And this week you can get 20% off your Final Four tickets with the code SLL20. Head over to the Volleyball England website, SLL20, and come join us for what is going to be a big 2 days of volleyball in Crystal Palace. And Tara, last year, drama left, right and centre.
Yeah, there's always drama everywhere when there's a big final weekend and match-up, and with the volleyball teams, they're very loud, egotistical people when they get on court, so it's always interesting to see how they react to things. Usually quite a few 5-setters happen that weekend with the matchups, and you see lots of ref calls that are slightly dubious from players and from refs, so it's interesting to see how people react to that, and you always get a good show on, so it is interesting. And with the Volleyball England people there as well, it's always lots of fun and really well run, so come along.
Referees, I do not agree with what players are saying. But no, obviously drama, and obviously we saw it in abundance with these two teams last year.
Yes, I'm sure Ewan can remember it very fondly, as he was the main cause of it in the 5th set. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he got sent out with the red card in the 5th set, and they put on their second setter who hadn't touched the court all season, and he set his middle on the first point, won the point.
I think that was set 4, but it was
set 4?
It was plenty of drama. Obviously, the men reverse swept Malory for the bronze medal, but on the flip side, Malory women reverse swept the Rebels women for the bronze medal.
Yes, and that was also a very tense game in 5 sets. So, yeah, there's lots of drama and history between these two teams.
We'll get more of that at the Crystal Palace London venue. A lot of London teams going to be in attendance for that one. Side out women have qualified. We expect Lionhearts on the women's side, London Giants potentially on the men's side. So, going to be a busy weekend.
Good chance to meet the players as well. We'll be walking around after the games and everything, so if you want to just randomly grab us and ask a question, we're all available to chat to you.
100%, and obviously clear schedule on the weekend, so not a lot of games around the country as Malory Eagles will get underway. Set number 2 any second now. No changes for even there is a change for Malory.
They've changed their rotation. They've put the middle in instead of the setter as the first server, so I wonder what they're trying to line up here with Davin to try and stop him a bit.
As Kern pushes it wide, wanted hands but little nod, and it is number 21 Harry Jones into the lineup for Malory, replacing Dalton Bunt, who by his high standards had a really difficult first set.
I know Harry, he used to coach at Essex and he coached BU.
As Kern is blocked by Cohen, that is a monster.
That was a good
out of nowhere.
Here, he just comes out, he meets his pin blocker and he just shuts it down, presses over the net. That was a great block.
Malory, no block kills in set number 1. Didn't really get many deflections either, but there's a monster to go 2 up as Kern goes again, finds Kwame on the back line. Martinez finds Jones, but into the hands. Rebels will set up.
They've put him in as he's a very beach trained player, and it will be interesting to see how that establishes a different side of their offense for the Rebels.
Yeah, Malory a little bit short of options on the back end, but with Bunn struggling, Jefferson Williams making the changes. Malory got 2 setters of their 6 substitutes, so big option as Cam Kern.
Do we know if Joel Martinez has played outside or?
He has not, as Lefty takes one off the shoulder. I say shoulder, that might have been a headshot.
I think he took it on his shoulder, hopefully. He was out a couple of weeks ago because he slept funny and crooked his neck, so I think Lefty's trying to avoid the headshots at the moment.
I mean, who doesn't? As Shutterman plays it overhand, back set to Kern into the block. Malory going to get there. Martinez right on the 3-point line. He was trying to set Fullerton, but Fullerton was front row instead of back as Kern again goes into the block.
Three-man block.
Lefty with the cover. Kern goes along, and tip is going to be called on the Malory block. And I think the ball has demolished our back row camera.
Yes, it's gone straight into the cupboard at the back of the court there. It happens once a game. It happens once a training as well when we record it. It's always a gasp when you hit it and it goes straight out the back of the court.
So, luckily, it's advantage. We have 2 cameras here at Super League Live, so we are on the middle camera for a minute. As Jones into the referee's stand.
He nearly had it then.
Martinez trying to save it.
That was a good try for him. He reached round and got his right arm to it, so that was a really good try. CJK goes back to serve again. We'll see if he hits his target again. It's really key for the Rebels to establish their serves early on.
And halfway up the net that time. As rear camera appears not broken. That's a very happy JC in the IT department, and probably Charlie Ford as well, not needing a new camera before Final Fours.
We won't speak of the costs on that one.
Yeah, as Harry Jones back to serve, and another big attack,
swing.
DJ with the kill.
I think Dylan's really struggling through the middle at the moment to try and find the right timings and match Cam's offense, so he's getting caught out a little bit there. We can see TJ just comes up on him a little bit early and hits over the top of his block.
As Kwame pulls Martinez, he has to go low, but into the block. Rebels going to recycle. Shutterman, who's been quiet offensively, finds the kill. Fullerton couldn't quite press down enough.
It's a good play from Tom. If he starts pulling apart that block on the Malory side, their defense becomes quite a weak standpoint from the offense of the Rebels.
Just the 3rd point of the day for Shutterman.
Another missed serve from the Rebels.
I feel like we just need a button.
Yes, just
Rinse
a
and
big
repeat service error.
I'll just record myself saying a service error and we can play that over and over.
Are you just going to put it? Are you just going to sneak in, attach yourself to the audio system here, and just play it in the middle of
I'll
practice?
do it in training as well for them.
Obviously, a big week coming up for both sides. Bucks semi-finals on deck as well. Shutterman gets the ball again and beats the block again. Clark and Fullerton.
See, the trick here is if Rebels were getting their serves in, they're siding out much better than the Malory team are at the moment, so they'd be very high in the points. However, their Smith serves are keeping them quite close on the tally board.
As rinse and repeat, Ewan Fraser, the latest culprit. That is at least the 8th error. We will get an official count shortly for the Rebels. Shutterman goes cross-court, beats Bowen. And the Rebels offense right now causing the Malory block and defense big problems. And as Tara said, can they just get ball in play and put some pressure on Malory to side out the hard way? Shutterman goes float. Kwame, another perfect pass. Clark is rejected by Pascal. Solo stuff.
That was a great block from Pascal. It's a shame really because Logan Clark is a big offensive threat from Malory when they get him going and get him hot on the ball. You can see there he just swung straight into Davin's arms.
So Rebels lead 8-6 and 1-0. Shutterman goes big this time. Jones to the floor, but good pass, and Kwame is stuffed by Pascal and Kern combining.
I think that was Cam Kern on his own then, I think. He just caught it on the end of his hands, pressed it back into court.
Yeah, Pascal was trying to close the gap, but that is a big one for Kern. 26 blocks coming into this game.
Malory just needs to find a bit of space to put the ball into at the moment.
And allow Essex to serve the ball out of
Just
bounds.
keep them on the service line long enough. And
I believe that's service error number 9 indeed. A Shudderman pulls Ianu to the line. Kern goes short. Fullerton able to get there. Delayed multi-option offense that time for Eagles, but again the Essex block there, and Pascal and Kern again.
you can see they just go up, wait, and then press their hands back over that net and push the ball back into the middle of court every single time. You can see the bench on the Rebels team are trying to bring Hassan back to life from that big block.
It is a block party and we are living in it at the Essex Sport Arena.
There you go, Davin just presses his arms back over and roofs the ball.
And serves it, unfortunately, into the net.
Well, as you mentioned, that's normally what happens when Davin goes back to serve. He is backed up by his 2 aces in the first set, though.
Yeah, hey, for him, that's a great service
That
day.
is great. He'll be happy about that.
So 10-8, Logan Clark. Kern had to wait on it, so Harry Jones this time into the block. And Jefferson and Kern again.
That's just one middle in and out for the other, isn't it? Jefferson and Davin are doing their jobs very well today.
It's Jefferson that time with the hands, and I'll be honest, I don't think we're going to need to dig very deep in the highlight bank. I think we just need to press Essex Rebels blocks and there'll be a montage that's enough for the rest of the league. As Jones, Martinez tries to go over on 2, it's the 3rd time he's done it. That is an overpass and the ball drifting wide.
It's a sneaky play from Joel then. He tried to trick the Rebels offense to think he was going to put that back over.
As Jefferson tries to go with the quick one, but makes the rare, hitting him up for the Rebels, just the 5th of the day.
See Dylan's hands coming up then, thought he could just clip them, but I think Dylan just pulped his hands back down and it went soaring out the back of the court. Great float serve.
Ianu gets crossed up, but Fraser tries to go, and now it's Malory's turn. Fullerton and Cohen this time.
I don't think he's had a swing yet in this set, so that's quite unfortunate for Fraser, as he just doesn't quite get around that roof of the block. John Martinez with the float serve again. This time lefty gets around it.
Finds Kern. Malory nearly keep it alive, but Jones couldn't quite lean back enough.
It's a hard, deep court swing when you push it into that cross court, because you've got to get the defender around and behind it if you want to get any chance of getting it up.
As Kern goes into the net. And these errors for the Rebels are racking up. I think at 6 service errors in 12 Malory points.
Yeah, I must say, watching this game, it feels like the Rebels are dominating a little bit, but I think with their missed serves, they're tying up on the scoreline, unfortunately. Fraser's blocked again. He tried to roll it just outside and pop it outside the court and roll it off the block, but unfortunately they just pressed straight back into 6, as we can see here. I think he was trying to just swipe off the block outside the court, but they pressed a little bit too well for him.
So Jones, float serve, the Essex serve line, interesting. All took a big step up to where they've been a lot of the other times.
Yes, they've been training on taking the float serve with their volley rather than their dig, because it's much easier to take it when you don't think about it quite so much. So they just take away that extra couple seconds for them. Short serve onto the Malory serve receive.
Kwame into the block
Big
of Pascal.
block from Pascal.
Essex are winning points with blocks and losing by service errors.
Yes, cancelling themselves out, unfortunately. Malory just needs to find a way to get above them, I think.
as TJ Thomas Jefferson, the most consistent server on the Rebels, won't make the service error. And Fullerton, cross court, huge big set by Martinez as well.
TJ's got an interesting serve. He does a hybrid serve. You can see here he swings across his body and just shuts it down underneath Cam's feet. Another middle back to serve. We see Dylan Cohen step back to the service line with a float serve. He just catches the net tape. I think he was going for a strong cross-court serve then onto Tom's platform. Fraser up to serve. There we go, serve in.
Martinez, long set, Kwame, cross-court, Ianu with the dig, and he kicks the ball away in frustration.
Rare mistake from Lefty then.
I was going to say.
You can see here it just rolls up his platform into his chest, and I don't think Lefty quite knew what to do with that. Unfortunately, he caught him out.
I mean, it was probably a double touch as well, accidentally
yes.
as well, but referee happy to see the ball hit the floor before making the call to shut him in. Tight pass, ball rolls off the net tape. Rebels able to reset, so shut him in. Goes into the block, but Malory rejects.
Very good weight by Joel on the pin block there. He just waited, he saw the tip hand come up, and then he pressed over late, which gave Tom no choice but to have the tip put back onto his body, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I don't think Rebels knew exactly where they were with touches off the top of the net tape either.
Yeah, it's nice to know that Malory are stepping up their blocking game during this set, though. It's a huge part of their play.
Pascal, first time we've not really been able to see him set a clean swing, and that block touch threw off Fraser, and all of a sudden Alex Porter needs a timeout. It's 17-15, Malory Eagles, set number 2.
Just letting it creep away from them, the Rebels are. I think their defense has slowed down a little bit, not quite expecting the ball to come back to them as it has been in the first set. You can see our line judges are playing a pretend game of roll the ball into each other's flags.
It's an early play of the game here at the Essex Sport Arena. Rightly going to Devon Pascal, 60% of the votes. Unfortunately, the Essex Rebel crowd don't get to pick. That is our privilege, Tara.
No, this is their choice for the fan base player of the match.
Could never trust the crowd. They can come up with some wacky ideas.
A lot of bias down there.
I'm pretty sure it was the last game. At one point, I looked over the scoreboard. It was someone that hadn't even seen the court was
yes, sometimes we do like to play a little prank on our freshers and choose Oscar or Jacob, who are the first years to be player of the match. Makes them feel a bit more included, I think.
Always a good environment here at the Essex Sport Arena. The Malory Eagles women just filtering in to our right as Fullerton out of the timeout. Malory leading by 2. Shutman has to wait on it.
Just caught out then with the off-court.
As Kwame block
good
touch.
dig.
Jacob Kern from the pipe, big
great
by Bowen,
dig by Malory's libero.
But the problem is the dig's got to go somewhere, and unfortunately that's nearly into the front row of the crowd.
It's nice to see they're not just letting JK dominate and hit the ball straight into the floor, though. I think that will be a big thing for Malory, is just stopping these little plays that make them feel quite a little bit less dominated.
I think it says a lot. Essex Rebels 35 points, Malory 13 so far, just with the error rate of the Rebels. Shut him in. Takes a little bit off it. Kwame, good pass, middle attack for Logan Clark, beats the block of Pascal this time.
That's the part of their offense they've been missing in this game. That establishment is really big for them. Logan Clark has always got a big swing when they establish him into the offense. It's really nice to see that they've given him a chance to swing on the ball.
Second swing of the day for Clark. First time was one of those blocks by Pascal. As the 2 North American middles go at it. As Pascal has to tip Bowen, pancake save. Harry Jones going to put it over, joust at the net. Kern swings into the block, and Malory Eagles are loving it.
Logan Clark just put his hands directly into the space then and pressed that swing straight back into the court. You can see it here.
But it was all the joust at the net, which the center Joel Martinez helped get the ball back over, make it difficult
He'll
for
be happy
the Rebs.
beating JK in a joust today.
As Kwame goes long, nowhere near Fraser on the back line, and Essex get it back to within 2.
You could play a game with this miss serve error, and you could take a shot every time you guess correctly who's going to miss their serve next, I think.
Well, I won't make you do it since you're playing in
No,
the half time.
something the men's team would definitely do.
As Ben Osborne, serving specialist again in for Pascal. Ben will be joining me later on for the women's game between Essex and Malory here at our final Super League Live of the season. As Bunn steps in, low clock, has to wait on it, and Fraser nearly gets there but can't quite go, and the recognition of Clark to go, not tip but off speed.
Yeah, it was a really nice pass from the libero as well. He stepped into that space and he dominated it in serve receive.
As we see a prediction in the chat, this will be the third, fourth playoff at the Final Four. If that happens, there will be drama abound, and don't forget 20% off your tickets for the Super League Live Finals. SLL20 is the discount code. Both these sides will be here as Fullerton goes cross court.
Nice dig from Fraser. Oh, middle defense, we love to see it.
Harry Jones. Another long rally. Kern again going cross court, and Clark tried to leave it last minute, but the ball brushes off the top of his hand. As at some point Malory made a setter change. I don't know when that happened.
No, I'm not quite sure either. I think it might have just been for that point on the block, I think.
It was Sonar Yashar wearing 7 checking in as an ace by Cam Kern goes down the seam of Jones and Kwame, and Rebels back within 1, trying to get to a 2-0 lead.
Now your prediction on the serve.
Timeout, therefore.
We're going to give the point to Jefferson. I think he's very clever with his
100%.
timeouts.
But what have you seen that's changed from Malory in terms of an energy perspective, but mainly a defensive element?
I really think their serve receivers stepped up in this game. They've got a lot more energy in that back row line of passers, and they seem to just be digging the ball a little bit closer to the net, which lets them establish their offense on all 3 standpoints, on middle, opposite, and outside, which is really nice to see.
As it will be Cam Kern, the setter, back onto the ace leader for the Rebels, 20 coming into the day. Team high in serve rating as well.
Another good serve from him, actually.
And Malory are not going to get that back. Back to back, huge aces for Cam Kern, and we're tied at 20.
This is the sort of serving I think their coach Alex Porter has been expecting from them all season, so it's nice to see that Cam is taking a leadership role on that standpoint and getting his serves in. I hope I haven't jinxed him here.
As Bowen, that is going to go over the net. Jefferson into the hands, but effectively a free ball for the Rebels, and Ewan Fraser makes no mistake.
It's his favourite shot, really, just to put it in between that seam of the 6 and 1 defender and make them guess who has to take it, drop it just short as well, so no one really knows, and they have to make that movement forward. It's a very tricky shot to dig up.
6th kill of the game for Fraser. Change for Malory. Harry Jones out. Dalton Bunt, who struggled in serve receive, and set number 1 back in. Bunt with 4 serve receive errors. And
Strong
doesn't matter as
service.
Kern aces Bowen. And all of a sudden, 5 straight points for the Rebels. And they are 22-20 up.
We're seeing the positive side of the Rebels serve today. I think that one of the big things about them is if they're having an off day, it's an off day and they can lose many, many points from it. But if they're having a good day, then Jefferson will call 2 timeouts for someone's service run instead of just 1.
Wow. At this point in the set, there's no point hanging on to it if you've got no momentum. Just a few points left to use it. But Cam Kern right now on a tear. Every serve down the seam and going in it from our vantage point here on the balcony. Never a chance any of them are going out.
Yeah, it's interesting to see that they're aiming for their libero as well, but it is nice to see that he's getting his serves in accurately, effectively, and he's using it to his advantage at the right moment in the game.
Yeah, the 3rd choice limb for the Malory Eagles, with Dan Hunter and Remy Cardo not in the lineup today. See if that 2nd timeout by Jefferson Williams can end the service run.
You can see how big their service lineup is. He's right back there, almost off the court, really.
If he got any closer, he'd be sitting in
Chinner's lap.
Chinner's lap. As Kwame passed
pass
to the
up.
3-metre line. Fullerton from the back row. Ianu, Shadamin combined for the dig. Kern's going to go line. Martinez to Bund off the bench. Big
That's an
kill.
impressive swing. That's a big momentum shift for them as well. They really need to side out on this point.
As Martinez, the setter back, played early by Kern. Back set, back to him and beat Bund going down the line.
That swing for swing on points there.
As Jacob Kern wants to try and repeat.
Nice pass on JK's serve then.
Oh, but it's a low set, hit by the Rebels, and they'll get the kill.
And if
And
he
bring
tipped
up
that to
3
the
set
side, he
points.
probably would have won the point then. JK up to serve.
As he goes big at set point, puts it in the net, and it'll be Dalton Buns facing 2 set points down to try and rescue this set for the Malory Eagles. They led it 17-15 at one point.
Malory are in full capability of bringing this set back for themselves.
As Kern has to go underhand into the block. Cohen with it, and 2 set points saved for Malory.
That's what I love about the Malory middles. If they're not quite up there on offense, they can really match it with their blocking and their defense. And as we see there, Cohen has just managed to shut down that attack from the outside.
And it's a huge momentum shift with Pascal dominating set 1. But the Malory Eagles middles have reset. Can they do anything here? Fraser has to go underhand, no touch, and we are tied at 24 apiece. And back-to-back rough sets for Cam Kern.
It's interesting, isn't it, how each team decide when they want to side out.
Hey, that's why we love volleyball here in the Dynamic Men's Super League Bund. Fraser into the block, huge cover by Jacob Kern, but Ewan Fraser can't get a second touch.
He won't be happy about that. Huge single block from Ben there. They've got a bit of history. They really like to go after one another during games, so it'll be interesting to see how that affects Ewan.
Just the 6th block of the season for Ben Kwame, but what a time to do it on the solo. And Malory Eagles, from 3 set points down, have set point of their own.
I think in our UEL game as well.
Yes.
They're going to win this.
And credit to Dalton Budd as well. A really, really difficult set 1. Come off the bench late, makes a big swing early on, and now on the service run.
Sometimes it's really important for players to be brought back off the court and then just give a chance to see the court, think about what they can do differently and go back on with a different mindset. It's really nice to get that perspective, and it's worked well for Dalton.
So, Dalton Budd, 87% success, goes off speed, goes at shut him in again. Kern from the pipe, Bund gets a dig on it, but Malory can't quite get the ball up
It was
in
the
the
safe
air.
play for Essex Rebels. That's their biggest offensive weapon, JK through the pipe. He practically looks like he's hitting front court, which is quite scary for any defensive player back row.
What a perfect rotation for Rebels on defense. Thomas Jefferson back to serve, but that brings Devon Pascal,
Back in front row.
the leading blocker, into the front as a big blocking weapon. And we know Jefferson's going to get ball in play. Low again, Clark into the block of Pascal. So it's Cohen. No, it's Martinez. It's not quite the set he wanted, too
Davin
low.
knows how to do anything. He does know how to block, so it's a fabulous lineup with that on a gap set, just pressing back into court at the right time.
But setting error by Martinez, really that ball never really getting much above the net tape. No option for Cohen.
I think he's having a bad offensive day, struggling up there.
Fullerton keeps us alive. 26 apiece. We've already had a 30-28 set in Derby and the women's side. Are we going to match that here?
This is what you expect from these two teams. They're going to go point for point. We've seen it all in the first two sets. We've got Dylan going into serve now, middle back row.
28-26 was the biggest set last year between these two teams, as Fraser has to roll it over. So Bund is going to set because Martinez was on the defense, and Fullerton goes into the block back to back for the December Player of the Month, Nathan Fullerton.
Big momentum play from Nathan Fullerton, proving, look, here's what I can do. If Davin's late, I can beat his block. I can do that.
15 points already. Sorry, 8 points already for Nathan Fullerton. As Pascal has to play in serve receive. Quick ball, Bun with the dig. Martinez is going to get there. Swing for Kwame, plays it off the hands, a little bit safe. Shut him in, being quiet, gets stuffed, and the Malory Eagles steal the set, 28-26.
It's a big last point to take a set off of Essex Rebels with. You see there.
I mean, I've got no idea who got that. It was Fullerton.
No, it was a good lineup by
Cohen,
the pin and a good meet by Cohen, so really they should both be proud of that block.
Perfect double block. And from 3 set points down, Malory steal it, 28-26. And if anyone wants to know why these two teams are the best in the league, this is why, going punch for punch, blow for blow.
Yeah, they always match each other, and I think with both the coaching staff being so experienced and having played each other so many times, that even then they're matched mentally, so it's really impressive for both of them. We can see that Essex Rebels are leading now in the votes on the chat to win the game, which is interesting after this set.
Well, it makes sense at 1-0.
Yes.
we know this. We know these two teams evenly matched, so everyone set one. Let's vote a little bit late, but let's have a look at some of the stats, Tara, for both teams. And really, it was the block defense by Essex early in the set, but then Malory came back, was really quiet early on.
Yeah, I think they managed to get their lineup correct in the end, and that changed the whole game.
Just waiting for the final stats to come through. It was a 29-minute set, I can tell you that much.
That's really impressive. That's quite a long set. Normally they take around 20 minutes, 22, so 29, that's going to make them tired.
And I believe it was 6 block kills for Malory Eagles in set number 2, having had none in set 1.
Yeah, I think with the Essex Rebels serving errors, those blocks are going to make a massive point difference, and it shows there they managed to catch up at the end and then just close down that set for themselves.
And very interesting swing in terms of sets. Rebels now up to 14 serve errors, but 7 aces. Malory yet to have an ace, but 5 errors. So actually, as much as the Rebels have struggled, the big serving, we saw that run by Cam Kern really produce most of that, but Rebels started to balance out those mistakes.
Well, that's the thing with the serving, isn't it? It can be amazing and it can work really, really well for them, but is it worth it when they're making that many errors? And in this game, you could argue it is, but I think if they put 1 or 2 more in with their slide out ability, they probably might have just taken the edge.
And overall, for Malory, as Nathan Fullerton leading the way with 6 points offensively. On the other side, Jacob Kern, reliable as ever, 10 points on 23 swings for the Canadian. Ewan Fraser, 6 on 13 as well. And obviously the 2 middles, David Pascal, 5 points on just 8 swings, and obviously 6 blocks as well as his 2 aces. So a huge outing for Pascal, leading the way with 13 points on the day from the middle position.
Yeah, I think the issue in the end of that second set was that the Rebels got caught in a rotation where Davin just wasn't in the court and they couldn't quite find the ability to side out without in front row. So it'll be interesting to see if they'll change their rotation in the start of the third set.
Unfortunately, we're not able to bring you many updates from the Men's Dynamic Super League because no one seems to be streaming, which is rather annoying on a big day of volleyball. If we get some updates, we will update you. We did have a result earlier in the Northeast. Newcastle Knights beating Nottingham 3-0 as they took a big step towards the top 4, but we have drama abound in the Women's League as Essex, Tara King, takes set 3 and lead 2-1 against Cambridge.
They're heading towards their first win of the season there, which is really impressive for them. They've really struggled. They've had players drop in and out. They weren't expecting to come up to the Super League, so it's a big opportunity for them to get a win. It will make their season worth it, I think.
To put more pressure on Cambridge, Dark Star are 2-0 up against the Durham Platinets. So
with an impressive second set at 25-15, actually. I wonder what happened there. Right, we're heading into the first point.
Ready for set number 3. Cam Kern, who had the big service run at the end of set 3. Fullerton has to tip it over.
Out of system play.
Will be set up. Kern goes off hands, Bund starts set 3, finds Fullerton on the back line, and he beats the block of Jefferson.
That was a really impressive set there by Martinez. He managed to just push that perfectly, so it just was just in front of the 3-meter line for Nathan Fullerton to jump through and use the block against them.
As they have done in both sets, Malory take the opening point. Can the Rebels respond? Fraser into the block, but recycled as Jefferson finds Clark, middle to middle, as Bund beats Ianu with a big cross-court swing.
It's always impressive if someone's swing beats lefty. He's very well known for being a consistent passer. Again, a very impressive set by Martinez. He's really running his offense well in the first 2 points of this set.
Now Shudderman, who definitely seems to be a target for Malory in serve receivers. Kern tips it into Bund.
I think that was JK saying, come on boys, we can win this smart. Just use the ball how you want to and win the point. Nice little tip into the outside of the block.
And I think the thing we haven't really touched upon is the consistency of the Rebels serve. We talked about no aces for Malory, but the consistency for the Rebels in serve receive. As all 3 of their main passes averaging over a 2.3 rating on the season. As Shudderman goes into the block, Martinez has to play it, so Malory out of system. Bund has to step back and puts the ball long.
Yeah, I think lefty is a huge asset for the Rebels, and he has been and always will be, so it's really nice to see him take such a huge part of the serve receive. However, JK's got so much experience, it's going to be a tough serve receive to ace on. He went for the same swing and he got it right this time.
And it's always nice as a hitter, right? Make an error, even if it wasn't a perfect set, to see the ball back again and just get that confidence back flowing.
It's almost like you're saying to yourself, I can do that. I knew I was right the first time, just didn't get it quite right.
As Cam Kern, Jefferson!
Oh, face shot there.
There's the headshot. Jefferson, great sportsmanship to check that the Malory Libero is okay. I think it came off the bottom of his chin, Bryce Bone.
Yeah, I think it's important to note that these two teams might be rivals, but they absolutely adore each other off the court, and they're very good friends.
As just found out from the Northeast, London Giants 3, Durham Platinum 0 in the Men's Super League. So big day for Giants men.
Dylan
We'll try
just
and get
found
a score.
Luck on the middle offense there on that point. Unfortunate service error from Malory there. That's quite unusual for Dalton.
As our stats just update, we'll find out what error, but yeah, Malory, I think that's error number 6, I think, on the day from the service line. As Rebels have started to find that serve consistency now. Kwame into the block, played by Kern. Fraser goes tip, big touch by Kwame. Joust at the net, won by Cameron Kern.
Nearly lost that point for them and ran underneath the net onto Malory's side then, but I think he just stayed on his side. Your whole of your foot has to be over that line for you to lose the point, so I think he just had his toes touching it.
Yeah, that's tight. I'd love to see a replay of that one. As Fraser off the net cord, played by Malory. Fullerton.
Ooh.
No mistake, Fullerton.
Davin was just caught out on that one, unfortunately. I think the setter had him. He thought he was going to go a little bit late, and you can see Davin was going to the outside to block that pin.
That's a huge set by Martinez to get Fullerton isolated. We know Rebels are wanting to shade that side. We've seen that all day.
Yeah, I think Davin will be kicking himself about that one.
As Kern, I think, tries the first set of the day.
Yeah, I think that is his first set.
Goes, and Fraser and Ian are on the same page, trying to cover. And Malory with the cheap point. And the momentum for the Rebels has just gone a little bit flat, even in the arena. The crowd have just quieted down just a little bit.
You can see them having a go at each other, but Lefty and Fraser are actually best friends off the court, so that's probably just jesting.
As Cohen, another float serve.
He really knows where to place those float serves. He aims for Tom's platform every time.
Bun tries to make the dig just inside the line. Good length by Shim. It wasn't the easiest ball to hit.
No, Cam made a half bad pass, very good set then. Let Tom really swing on the ball.
As should have been into the net. Can confirm Essex Rebels in set number 2, 7 service errors, but a lot of those came early on.
Yeah, they really tightened up their service at the end, so it'd be nice to see them carry it through on this one.
And 6 block kills apiece in set number 2. Were the final stats with Pascal. As Kern goes big, wanted the touch, but didn't get it. Aggressive by Cam Kern.
He played outside at Pro in Greece, so he knows how to swing on the ball. He's a huge offensive weapon. Chinners begs Porter every day to run a 6-2 with his 2 offensive setters.
We may or may not see that very shortly with the Malory women action. As Jacob Kern, another big block, but Clark couldn't quite press down over the height of Kern and that ball out of bounds.
Interesting serve from Nathan then. He tried to just cut it short, but I think he put a little bit too much loop on it, and it was just a bit of an easy pass for the Rebels.
So Darren Pascal back to serve, and that goes halfway towards the basketball baseline. Good. Sadly, second error again for the Rebels serving. As Kwame goes low over the tape. As Kern cross court misses the baseline.
That was a very tight miss by JK. That's a very impressive shot for him to swing. It'd be nice to see him just flip that line on the next shot.
Just the third hitting error by Jacob Kern on 26 swings so far. Huge number for the outsiders. Kwame goes into the net. And Malory now starting to rack up the service errors. That's 4th on the day for Ben Kwame from the service line.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but he's quite a normally very solid player. He's very consistent. He has normally, last season he was their starting outside, I believe, and he was very good at his serves. I think Dalton snuck in a little bit with the offense. So.
Yeah, obviously the second outside as Bund there goes into the hands. Kwame 77% on the season. Huge pickup by Bone, but really smart by the Rebels to get it over quickly as Martinez was thinking that might just roll on the side, but nearly a terrific save by the Malory libero.
JK just doesn't rest on that net, doesn't he? He just wants to get the ball killed every single time.
Hey, if you're the best hitter on the team, your eyes light up every time you see that ball going as a hittable opportunity as Kern finds Bowen.
Great
Martinez
save.
has to scramble, but Fullerton gets a swing
Take
off
it to
the
the chair.
shoulder of Shudderman, and it'll be a 3-ball Malory. Bund into the block, too tight by Martinez on that set. Rare setting error. Kern over the double, finds the angle.
No, that was the shot he was going for earlier where I said it'd be nice to see him just clip the line. He's just aiming deep cross court where none of the defenders can quite reach, even if they stretch out. It's nice to see him aiming for that over and over again. Good serve receive from Dalton.
To Fullerton from the back row, finds the hands.
That is a fantastic set from Martinez once again. He really split his pins up. You can see there that the outside was the key player to set and the easy option, but he just chose to split the pins, make the outside think on the Rebels team and make TJ's life very hard to block that ball.
Shutterman pulls Kern to about 6 meters off, and net touch not called, but Bunn sends Ianu scrambling. 3-ball again for Malory. Kwame is going to take control of it with no lead row, and swing is out of play by Cohen, trying to play for the hands.
The thing is, if you hit the net outside that antenna, it doesn't count as the net touch, and you're going to see that a lot in the next game as the outside starter, Leia Borovec, loves to do that swing where she just falls into the net outside of the antenna and rolls off of it. It's like a safety net for these outsides. It's terrifying.
I think it's the first one we've really seen. I think it just throws Malory, but that was a huge missed opportunity as Kern finds Kwame. Another good pass, and he gets it back from the pipe. That is a perfectly executed offense by Ben Kwame.
He is a fantastic swinger when he gets hot on it, and I think something we really saw from him last year was this shot, and where he can just play the ball wherever he wants and move around that block in front of him.
3-point pass, gets it back from the pipe. As Martinez into the net. And the Malory errors on serve starting to ramp up as a bit of fatigue sets in on both teams' rosters in this battle for the top spot in the Dynamic Men's Super League. Jefferson, very rare service error.
Yeah, he's got some days he does miss quite a few, but I think today's been one of his good games, and he doesn't normally miss any when he's having a really good serving day.
I think you'll argue with that. He's only missed 20 on the season, including that one. Maybe it's Bucksy gets his errors in the way. As Kern able to flick it back. Fraser gets the most gentle net touch ever.
I think we can see there the little bit of fire that happens between Ben and Ewan when they match up, and it really, really fires up when they play in UEL versus Essex plays. Ewan loves to toy with Ben and play with him on the net, and I think Ben likes to respond with that.
Yeah, that one dropping short of Kwame's arms and then his feet as he tried to kick save, as Cohen has to reach for it. Joust at the net, won by Cam Kern, but Malory get the ball and Kwame misses the swing. Oh, correction. I missed it, but I see...
I think they called it on Cam.
Yeah.
He juts the net on the joust, he just followed his hands through and didn't quite stop him from touching that net band.
And we go back and forth in set number 3. No lead bigger than 2 for either squad. And it's Malory with a narrowest of 1-point leads at 1 set all. Fraser, Bunn makes the one-handed save as Cohen rushes to put it over but puts it wide the middle. Trying to play defense from Menlo College, same school as Jaden Scott. We'll see her in action for the Malory Eagles women shortly against Tara and the Essex Rebel women. Another huge game at the top of the Super League here at Super League Live. As Martinez, quick set. Ooh. And nearly
that was a great connection
by Fraser. I don't know how much he knew about it.
No, that was a great swing by Logan. It was a great swing to come in off of serve receive and just dominate through the attack. Ewan's very good at that defense though, and he'll be annoyed he hasn't got that up.
4th point on 6 swings for Logan Clark as Cam Kern receives the perfect pass. And Pascal, who went off the boil in set number 2, gets a big kill there.
That was quite a tame one from Pascal. He just hit over the top of the block and then hit deep court. It was nice to see that Dalton nearly got it up though. Substitution coming in, serving sub for Davin. Ben Osborne likes to do the short topspin serve and drop it short on that attack line, so we'll see if he pushes them back or brings them forward on this one.
4 aces on the season for Osborne. Couple came in huge moments a couple of weeks ago as Kwame doesn't get the set he wants, but finds a way to get it off the hands of Kern. That's a terrific piece of hitting by Ben Kwame.
That was a cheeky tip actually. From the side view you could see that he was actually facing completely away from the net when he tipped that and just put it behind his head. He likes to play with the blocker and annoy them.
Yeah, such a tough position for that block. as he goes into net, and he's not having a good service day, Ben Kwame. 5 errors on 8 serves.
That isn't good stats.
At what point do you sub you outside off just to let someone else serve?
Yeah.
As Cam Kern back to serve 16 all. And he gets a huge ace.
It's like watching the second set again with this.
5 aces on the day for Cam Kern. Takes his total to 25 on the season.
He's very consistent with his serve. He's very good at just throwing it in a straight line and giving it lots of aggression, which is something that I think you need to decide with a spin service, if you're going to aim or as if you're going to go hard over the net.
This time well wide, away to Bunt's left. Error and an ace. It's about a wash, right? Slight advantage still on the
move
ace.
on, forget about it.
As we are tied 17 apiece. We said this was going to be close. Malory Eagles UEL versus Essex Rebels. As
swing down the line.
Goes down the line, paints the white of the free throw line.
It's a really hard swing. If you absolutely conk the ball straight at the defender down the line, they'll be sat there ready. But if you put it just over their head and down the line, there's no way for them to really dig that ball up.
As huge high pass by Bowen. Bunt waits on it. Ianu sticks out the right hand but can't control.
So the Rebels' defense is looking a little bit stale at the moment. They're not looking like they're ready to move onto that ball at all. I think they just need to loosen up their limbs a little bit more and get underneath it.
As Grace Lazar just over to our right, starting to get herself in the zone as Fraser beats Kwame. Again, Ewan Fraser having a terrific set, number 3. 8th kill of the game.
He is the player to watch, kill after kill.
As Pascal back into the front row. Early enough in the set, but probably need to see Ben Osborne again. This set has been a side-out clinic. We're 37 points in and we're 2.5 full rotations in. So
yeah, this won't be like the last set where they got caught out in that rotation.
Martinez keeps it alive. Razor again into the block. And this time, Cohen not with a big enough press.
Ewan's getting a little bit feisty there through the net.
Jefferson Williams wants to talk it over. 18-20 his side trail as the Rebels try to win set number 3 to take a 2-1 lead.
It'd be interesting if we could stat how many times Ewan has got a card in the Super League, because it is his favourite hobby to do outside of playing the game.
Well, I don't even think he got a warning, so be happy about that one. As Thomas Jefferson back to serve.
See his hybrid serve there where he flicks it up as if he's going to spin it and then hits it like a float serve. It just gives this really awkward side spin for people to hit off of.
Bowen pulls Martinez to the 3-point line. Fullerton's been quiet in this set, but no longer tight cross-court angle.
He got lucky with that swing. You could hear the contact was a little bit off then. It just hit his fingers, but with his height he can just put it down into the court no matter what.
Height and explosiveness, a perfect combination.
Yeah, you can see that in both him and Davin.
Kill number 11 on 19 swings for Nathan Fullerton as Pascal pushes it wide.
Yeah, I think unfortunately there he just got caught with his hips facing into that 5 position, and then the block went up in that perfect place just in front of his body line. He had no choice but to just push it just outside the court.
Second error for Pascal to go with 6 kills, having had a blistering set number 1.
Evening up again, 2020.
As Martinez can't quite make the dig as Pascal gets his 7th kill.
It's nice to see Cam going back to him over and over again despite an error.
So Rebels lead by 1. We had extra points in set number 2. Will we get it in set 3? Fraser, perfect pass. Kwame waits for it. and dots the line. That is such a tight angle.
It is a beautiful swing to be able to do forwards four. It's an extremely hard one, but Ben's such a high jumper. He can just get up there and play off the block no matter what. It's really impressive to see him to swing with his thumb down like that.
And you know it's clean when there is zero appeal from the home team bench on the.
If Rebels aren't chatting, they just know it's a good swing.
21 apiece. Dylan Cohen back to serve, shut him in. Another great pass by him. Kern from the pipe. Cohen gets hands on it. That ball just about stays under, but free ball for the Rebs.
It's nice to see some middles getting some
shut him in into the hands of Fullerton.
Good shot down there. I think Tom was trying to rebound it off of Nathan's hands, but he just jumps too high and his arms pressed too harsh over the net for him to recycle off of it, as we can see.
Go up and go up on the net, not squeeze too much to get the violation. And Malory take a lead with Cohen back 84% on the serve. Success done a good job today as Kern pulls his brother away. Shut him in again, misses the swing. Tip given though by the line judge. Nathan Fullerton can't believe it, nor can Jefferson Williams.
Can't be arguing with the line judges like that. It would surprise me if there's a replay here. I didn't think that was a cut, I must say.
I'm not going to make you name the line judge up. Big point for the Rebels, 22 apiece. And it'll be Thomas Shutman back to serve. Float serve, Kwame leaves it short for Martinez. Fullerton's going to get a chance, goes into the block and killed off by Kern down the line.
Great block by Davin. He really waited on that roll shot. You could see the arm swing slow down. He waited on his block and just pressed over at the right time there, and then JK could just kill the ball with the overpass.
So 2 points in a row for the Rebels. Can they make it 3 and bring up set point? Shut him in.
He's gone for a safe serve.
Clark, 23 apiece.
Lefty's not having a good day defensively. It's really impressive for Malory to have him on the rocks like this.
Quick ball again. We've seen Clark have some success with that as Nathan Fullerton back. So we've not really talked about Fullerton on serve. 10 aces, but he's taken a lot of pace off this year. Shutterman gets crossed up.
It's lucky
Kern's going to be able to put a swing on it and finds the kill. Head in hand, Jefferson Williams. That's a point where you expect to have a swing. And Devon Pascal is going to serve at 24-23. Interesting.
I think if he's having a good day like he is today, it's nice to just let him stay in, not mess up the vibe too much when it's at 24.
Float serve,
great serve.
Kwame inside the line, goes line. Fraser gets crossed up. Pascal in the air. Kern's going to go touch. Overpass, joust at the net. It's a huge win by Joel Martinez, the setter.
He is dominating on the net today. It's really impressive to see. He's jousted against JK and TJ, who are arguably two of the tallest people on the Rebel squad, and he's won both times. The fans in the court for Malory, who are the women's team, have popped off on that one.
Oh, do you blame them?
No.
That should have been set to Essex as Kwame goes over the net. Kern dot the baseline. Great swing, Jacob Kern. And we go back and forth in set 3.
Very similar to set 2, this one.
And it's this is a big point. Can Kern to serve. Kern's been terrific on the service line. 5 aces on the day. Can he make it 6? Kwame just gets to it. Buns. Lefty gets a touch, but keeps the ball on the side of the Rebels. And we are going back and forth. Logan Clark now.
We can see here with this swing that he just manages to catch Ewan, blocking a little bit too wide and swing cross court into Lefty's platform, which unfortunately was just a little bit too late.
We know Clark's going to get ball in play. Kern, back set to Jacob.
It's a very nice swing from JK. I think the thing is, if you aim at someone's feet, it's very hard to dig that ball up because they've got to get underneath it much quicker than you can probably do it.
Jacob Kern, having won the point, goes to the back row. It'll be a relief for Malory because Kern's been on fire on the front side.
I would say this is one of their weaker rotations for the Rebels.
Off the net core, Bowen able to play it well. Kwame from the pipe, Kern left-handed from the center, Fraser into the block. Shunnaman keeps it alive. Fraser's going to have another chance. Goes tip, pancake save. Bund recycled. What a rally this is. Set point Rebels. Fullerton into the net.
Oh,
Essex
that's an
Rebels
unfortunate error.
take set number 3. What a rally.
Big point for them to go into the next set with Nathan making a mistake like that in such a pressured moment.
And breathe. What a set of volleyball that was, ladies and gentlemen. We see why these two teams are top of the standings. And the Rebels take a 2-1 lead. And no matter what happens, that could be a big point come the end of the year. Even if Malory came back in 5, it would give the Rebels a 2-point, correction, a 3-point cushion still at the top of the standings, with the Rebels leading by 4 coming into this game.
Yeah, I'd say Porter's definitely trying to make dominance aware on this team. He really wants to try and take that gold in the Super League this year, so it's really key for him to establish that early on with games like this, where he can just show in the playoffs we've already beaten them once. I will argue there for the lever on Malory. He did get that pancake despite the massive cheer from the crowd.
As Dark Star Derbyshire have match point against Durham. And they do. Huge victory. You can see the celebrations in Derby. They sweep Durham 3-0. And another crazy comeback. 24-21 Durham led. 5 straight points for Dark Star to close out the match.
It's an impressive win from Dark Star. They've got a very interesting lineup on their game, and they pick between their setters and their pins very quickly, and in games it's really interesting to see who they play. So I'm assuming Victoria played most of this game, their irregular setter, so it's nice to see that they've clinched that win.
As both teams take a quick breather, you see Essex starters sitting down having a breather. Clara, what can both teams tweak in set number 4 to just try and give themselves a little bit more breathing room?
I think Malory could definitely up their serve-receive unit a little bit. I think the confidence dipped a little bit with Cam's service in the past 2 sets, and it would be nice to see them establish that area of their game and introduce the middles, because when they did, they were scoring points. Obviously for the Rebels, their blocking has been superb in this game. I think something they really need to work on is their defense and just getting underneath that ball and pop it up, giving themselves many more opportunities to score points. It's really key for them to win points in this game, and also serving error to ace is not great, but they did well in that set for the Rebels. It was a really nice opportunity to see their service in full blast. As
we have a confirmed final score from the Northeast, Durham Platinums dropped 3-0 at home to the London Giants, 25-17, 25-23 and 25-18 for Giants as they move closer to a space in the top 4.
It's very impressive from them coming into a new league like that and establishing dominance. You see no changes at the moment in the starting lineups.
The Giants just 2 points away from clinching a spot at Crystal Palace in a month's time. And they have one final opportunity to get it done. And they will close out their season with a home game next Sunday against Newcastle, 2 of the teams potentially that are battling for the Final 4.
Just having a slight delay with the ball goal, has ended up with 2 balls instead of 1, so we just need to confirm which ball is a match ball. I think they've tried to line up TJ with Dalton and Davin with Nathan Fullerton in this lineup, as Davin has taken a seat for the beginning rotation of this game.
Yes, big pick up there. Logan Clark as ever back to serve for Malory. Quick ball, Kern gets it back off the foot of Bunt, but ball ballooning away into the corner.
First for the Rebels, winning the first point in the set, so it was nice to see the momentum that's carried through from the third. See Cameron going back to serve. I think he's been the most consistent in this game so far with his service. He's definitely racked up the most aces, I would say.
As again, trying to attack Ben Kwame. Fullerton from the back row, off the hands of Jefferson. Fraser. Kern with a huge right-handed pickup. It's going to be a free ball for Malory. Cam Kern goes with the back set on touch free. And Cohen, who's been quiet with the quick ball, finds the kill.
That was a beautiful gap. I don't think Malory used many gaps, but you can see that he's really worked well to get around that ball and push it into the space away from that block into lefties. Just outer arm where he can't quite reach it.
Just the third kill of the day for Cohen.
Yeah, he struggled on the offense this game.
We believe we've got 5 sets in Essex. And another quick ball back to back.
Overpass to Nathan Fullerton's never a good thing to do.
Take half a second away and you just hear the thud of the ball.
Tom was doing his best to try and get underneath it, but I think at the end he was just trying to get away from being hit by it.
Shut him in low, so Ewan Fraser with a tough angle and he puts it over the baseline.
He's trying to find hands, but I think Nathan's figured out how to drop his shoulder into court just to take it away from him. Great pass by Lefty.
Fraser goes left-handed and is stuffed by Fullerton.
That was a single hand block, I believe.
Single hand, offhand
yeah,
hit
non-dominant
into
single hand block from
one-hand block.
I think that was a big shutdown for the player to watch in the game. Ewan will not be happy about that. He's going to come back with some fire, I think.
As Malory jump into a 4-1 lead. It feels like Malory pulled away early in all the sets as Jefferson gets rejected. And that's going to be 4 touch. Also double touch by Jefferson. And Alex Porter turns to his bench. And we're going to see a sub, Hassan Barat, who played last week in the absence of Tom Shudderman. He's going to replace him last week. Hit
Hassan,
269 with 12 kills in that 5-set victory.
Hassan's one of these players whose energy is possibly the greatest you can possibly have on court. He's always smiling, always happy. He just brings a real nice stability to anyone's offense and anyone's defense.
As Joel Martinez, who's had a really good setting game for Malory, finds the net.
I think we can give that point to Porter then. That substitution just shook off Joel's ribbon. JK back to the service line. I'll be interested to see how Hassan gets established into the offense here. He's very clever with his shots. He really knows how to tip around people's blocks. It'll be interesting to see what he chooses to do.
Kern goes big, bunt, finds Martinez, jump set Fullerton off the hand, but going to be a good ball for the Rebels to do something with, but Kern makes an unfortunate mess of that, and I think all Tara King to my left could do is just laugh. We've all seen those moments for Essex, your worst nightmare.
He's very easily stressed, Cam. I think when he gets in those moments like that, point a couple points ago where he volleyed it back and it was a bit questionable. It's just from where he's getting stressed.
Back set, Fraser beats Bowen, and he is
down the line.
Mad at himself with his arm positioning.
See Ewan use that shot where you just push it a little bit further than the defender's arms, which means that it's really hard to get your platform up and around it, and it usually means that they just end up shanking it far behind the court.
Martinez right on the tape, but Cohen misses.
It was a great swing. I think he was just going to catch hands there and unfortunately pushed it a little bit too far out.
As Malory still with a 2-point lead. TJ forces the return on 1. Fraser into the block. Malory going to keep it alive. Bund from the pipe position. Good swing. And Cohen with the block. Malory steal a point, and they are starting to roll in set number 4.
It's a big momentum block for Malory, shutting down Davin like that. I think that's his first swing in this set as well, which means that they've got to establish him again early on or he's going to get a little quiet.
Cohen goes float serve, finds Jacob Kern, who's done a really good job in service even. Very, very big placement by Jacob Kern. It looked for all the world he was going to go over that 3-meter line, but just stabbed his foot down enough to stay legal.
Yeah, he's really good at using the block when he's not lined up quite right to hit around it. It's really nice to see JK using his brain in that swing.
Martinez goes long into the block. Kwame, long set. Farrett plays for the touch. He's going to get another opportunity, tries to go line. Martinez plays it, so Malory out of system. Kwame blocked by Pascal and Kern.
Kern's really good at setting up that block on those outside. He's done it this whole game. You can see here he just sets up on their arm swing, which gives Davin all the opportunity to just push his arms over and close down that cross-court swing. It's a rare service error from you, and he really went for that. You could hear him go, ooh, during the serve, but I think whenever someone's doing that, they always put a little bit too much power in it, and it goes either in the net or out the back.
You would be right. Third error of the day for Ewan Fraser on serve, as Kern inside the lines has to roll it over. Quick ball, and Fraser can't quite get the dig. Wasn't the cleanest connection by Logan
I'd say
Clark.
the net tape helped that quite a bit then, but point is a point in volleyball, and if you can't get it up, it's not going to be your point. Nathan Fullerton back to serve. Score is 9 up for Malory, so it'll be interesting if they can make that gap any bigger.
As Hassan into the block, Bund from the back line, low set. Kwame has to just tip it over, so good opportunity for the Rebels. Barat finds Bund again, big dig by the Malory outside. Kwame beats Jacob Kern.
See, JK tried his hardest to get it up, and Ewan did chase it down. But I think when Malory just keep digging up your plays and you can't quite kill the ball, it's going to eventually lead to them just killing the ball. 4-point difference now in the set 4. Be interesting what Porter decides to do if they get any further away from them.
Pascal low set, somehow gets it over the net, and Clark was too high and the ball comes down on his side.
One error, one kill now in this set. I think he's only been set twice.
And obviously Devon Pascal with arguably the perfect set in set number 1 for a middle. 6 kills, 3 or 4 blocks and 2 aces.
Couldn't ask more from the player, really.
As that one goes over the line, Farrett not quite grown into this game. As it looks like Cambridge starting to pull away in set 5 in Wessex. We think it's 12-8, but there's no scoreboard, so there's a little bit of guessing going on as Kwame finds lefty. Perfect serve, but not the right set. I think they wanted to set Pascal. Kwame from the back finds Ianu, who's been quiet, not seen a lot of ball, but Malory there with the block. Tight set for Martinez. Bund! Kern with the dig, but Malory able to reset again. Martinez turns to swing.
This is great control from the Essex
Kern,
defense.
Kwame with the dig. Another huge rally. Fullerton, that's going to be tight over. One joust by Cam Kern.
Fullerton giving himself a big face palm at the end of that point, but what can you do if you're pulled that far off? It's very hard to judge how tight you need to be able to set that ball to your pin.
I think it was Cam Kern with the last touch.
I think if the lefty's been quiet in a game and he hasn't done much, Malory's doing their job correctly, because the last thing you want is to give him all of the balls.
As Stan tries to get this crowd at the Essex Sport Arena well into it. Fullerton from the back has to go off pace, going to be tight. Jacob Kern makes no mistake. 3 Malory players read the ball, didn't get in each other's way, and still wasn't enough.
I think that's a perfect example of how well Cam can set a ball to JK and what their connection can act like, because the middle was completely lost with that ball, thinking a tight ball was going straight to the middle.
Pascal float serve just over the tape. Clark has to play it. Another tight set. And Bun gets it off the hand of Cam Kern.
That's a shot I've seen a lot from Bun. He really likes to go off the top of those blockers' hands and just push the ball out of reach for any defender to get to. It's really impressive how he can do that over and over and over again. Nice serve.
Kern, Fullerton over but out.
It's a great dig by Fullerton, but he's managed to break his platform and put it perfectly up. It's a shame no one chased around the ref stand to try and get that back into play. I think Fullerton's got the most digs in his team, doesn't he?
Yeah, Nathan Fullerton is even in the leaders as 4 kills. He's 5th in digs per set as an outside.
It's very, very impressive.
And he's got the second most digs in the Super League as Cam Kern aces Bowen on the sideline.
It's a great serve. Cam just clipped the sideline, which is really hard to judge with a spin serve. Closing up the scoreline here with 11-12. Malory just losing their 4-point lead.
Kwame takes some off it. The service
Nice
for
block.
Malory's not quite been there. Martin is going to get there. Bunt plays for the hand really smartly of Fraser. And he
Hand shot again.
pulls on the net in frustration.
Yeah, I
Ewan
think
Fraser's got to be careful.
he just did that shot to Cam, and now he's just done it to Ewan again. It is going to start frustrating this Rebels team if they don't manage to get their outside up and around that ball to press it back into court.
I mean, I know you want to play Tar, and I know you, as a Rebels player, you've got to support Rebels, but 5 would be quite fun. As a monster block by Dylan Cohen on Jacob Kern, that is not easy to do. And 2 of the best offenses in the Super League have been shut down both ways. Defensively, the blocking has been on point as Kern gets his revenge.
Yeah, they're
Huge
definitely
swing.
going up point for point. Malory just needs to keep this 2-0 lead to go up to 5 sets. It is interesting for 5 sets.
I mean, is it Rebels' worst nightmare?
They
Or
do it a
not?
lot, so I can't imagine it is really. They're very well practiced in it.
But we've also lost 3 times in 5 to Malory/UEL this year, so very interesting. Do you want to break the curse, or do you want to avoid having it as Fullerton goes along
Well, I think as we can see,
but gets the touch?
in the first 4 sets, Malory have led all the way up to 15. I think Essex Rebels really struggle with those first few points, establishing their block, establishing their serves into the court, so it's the late game in the sets that really clinch the sets for Essex Rebels.
I think it's Cambridge 14, Wessex 13 in set number 5 as Jefferson with the kill. He's been quiet offensively.
Yeah,
by
he's
his
struggled to
standards.
find a connection with Cam, I think. The block has been up on him really, really well in both from the Malory side. He just manages to tip those balls into space like he just did there.
We are 14 all in Wessex.
That's really impressive for Essex. This will be their first win of the season if they manage to get this.
As Malory with the big kill.
Nathan went 2-2 underneath Ewan's feet then. Really hard shot for an opposite who's right-handed, but I think Nathan, obviously with his experience, can do it over and over again if he's given the opportunity.
As Dylan Cohen misses the baseline. Rare mistake from Cohen on the service line.
Be interesting if Ewan gets his serve in here and adds pressure back on when he needs to. He can be a really, really big asset on the service line for the Rebels.
As Bone directly in the air, Bun not with the greatest set. Ianu tries to set Pascal, but not the right connection. Fullerton, and a big block by Pascal. You can see the change in the hand angle at the last minute to find the kill.
Yeah, that's Cam's speciality. When he gets tight to the net, he just contorts his hands.
As Wessex win a game in the Mari Women's Super League. They take set 5, 16-14 against Cambridge ARU. As Malory Eagles call timeout, but more drama in the relegation space. Win for Durham, Cambridge dropping points, Durham dropping points.
Massive shifts in the lower end of the Super League women's table for them to be getting wins like that for Derby and for Wessex. It's really, really impressive, and actually it's really heartwarming to see that at the end of the season they've managed to clinch a win for both the teams. This will be a real nice moment for both of them.
Huge congratulations to Wessex. Not enough as they drop down to Division 1 for next season. Obviously with 3 teams going down.
So we have the score 15-16 coming out of the timeout. Ewan Fraser's back to serve. It'll be interesting to see if he applies pressure, as I said earlier.
As Fraser back to serve. Rebels trailing by 1 here. Make that 2. Get your predictions in. Are we going 5 here? It wouldn't. It feels like it wouldn't be right if we didn't get a Malory.
No, it'd be very odd feeling if they walked off the court and had only
Essex
played
5.
4 sets against Malory.
I'm assuming you hope you don't need 5 today.
You can see most of the girls are getting ready now, so I think we're expecting this to end after this set. But
well, you've got to if you're the Essex Rebels. No one from the Malory side has moved as Kwame goes down the line. Fraser with the dig. Farah, who came in early in this set for Thomas, shut him in as Clark goes middle.
Big swing. 3-point lead now for Malory heading into the 20s, and that's a really big opportunity for them to just keep going with this run and shut down this set early on. Be interesting to see if Porter makes any different changes and puts Thomas Shatterman back on the court. Nice pass in from Hassan.
And Kern from the pipe. That's what you talked about early on, Tara. That success down the pipe, and he gets another one.
Yeah, JK's biggest opportunity is that pipe, and if Cam sets it correctly and with Dab in front row, it's a terrifying matchup because it just looks like you have this ginormous 6'6" outside coming in from back row to hit down a ball on you. Oh, we see a substitution coming in for the Malory team. This is a good one because Josh Fundafunda is also related to Kate Fundafunda, who was on the Rebels team. Unfortunately, she is ill today, so she will not be on the roster, but it is always nice to see the sibling rivalry between Essex and Malory is rife because Thomas Shatterman's brother used to play as libero for the Malory's team. Josh Fundafunda's just come on.
There you go, dropping stats I definitely did not have them in my notes. As Pascal tries to split the middle, diving save by Malory. It's going to be a 3-ball Rebels. They need this point to try and stay in it. Pascal finds Bowen. That's going to be tight.
Big
Joust at the net. Recycled from Malory. Bund finds the angle. Malory Eagles lead by 4.
Big momentum play by Malory there, digging up Davin and then getting a kill on the ball.
As you can see the Malory girls just reacting to what's happened in the Super League off to her right. Chloe Allen came up to get the scores. You can see the relegation race we're going to have to dig into during the next game. We've got a big one on the men's side as well as Kwame again, serving error. What point do you go to that serving sub? Maybe set 5, less points.
I think Carol and Jefferson are very good people at just like giving their players a chance to show themselves, prove their ability. We can see Joel Martinez is being popped back onto the court for Josh Thunder. I think he was just coming on to block the ball, which he did his job very well in that set. So it's nice to see the subs working out for Malory. Unfortunately, Ben Osborne could not quite get the ball into the net. And
it's such a hard job coming in as a serving sub, fit for 25, 30 minutes,
yeah,
then come on and...
struggled this season with that, I think. It's been a real issue for him, I think.
As Clark just clears net, played early by Jacob Kern. He'll get it back and find the back line.
Beautiful line swing. I think that's the thing, is they've really taken line in all of their blocks in this game, so you haven't seen many swings from people down the line in the pin, but I think John Martinez didn't quite get up on that, thinking it was going to be a middle set, and then JK just has all of the court to swing onto. See what Cameron does with all of his aces so far in this game.
Serve error in set 4.
Yeah, I think the Rebels have just lost their service edge, and that is what is giving Malory such a big 4-point lead so far in this set. If they really want to clinch this down, the next serve is going to have to go back there and make some changes.
Kern, no mistake. Kill 25 for Jacob
Big
Kern.
Numbers, that's a whole set of points, carrying the team. He's a massive leader in this team. He's captain as well. He's got loads of experience. It's really nice to see him be successful on court. When he played UEL at home, he got injured during the game, and I think that was a major part of their plan, was that they didn't have JK on the court.
He'll go big on the serve. Perfect pass by Bund, and he'll get the hands.
Smart swing. Like I said, he loves the hands.
77% of you say this is going 5. I do not disagree right now.
See the Rebels athletes of the women's team coming in their match kit, ready for the game.
Might have to wait just a little bit longer if Malory can find 2 of the next 5 points. Fraser, Fullerton gets crossed up. Kwame tries to make the diving save.
Good swing by you in there. It was really smart just to get that off blocker out of balance and make Nathan try and have to reach that ball. It's a really successful swing.
Osborne has to check in to get subbed out.
I don't think he'd do quite as well at middle as Davin would front row.
No.
Definitely give it a good try.
Fair assumption, especially the way Devon's played. 9 block kills on the day. 8 kills as well, 17 points, plus his 2 aces with 19. As Malory finds a quick connection down the middle. That connection has grown for Malory, and they are 4 set points.
I think establishing the gap for Dylan has made it a huge difference in his offense. He was really struggling with the A's and the C's, but just pushing him to the side gives him all of that cross court to try and get a point from, and he's working really well with it. Right, we can see at match set point, Hassan is being taken out of serve receive for Tom again.
And Malory making a change as well. Ruben Fernandez, a middle, coming in for Ben Kwame. So Malory, knowing they have opportunities, just going to go big at the net.
Stocking up the block, but I think that sub from court was just to give Dylan a little bit more time to think about his serve and hopefully make a mistake on this one.
We've seen a couple of errors from Cohen today. So Malory with 4 middles on the court. Well, 3 middles plus Nathan Fullerton. And Ruben Fernandez off the bench, block, kill. We are going 5.
Middles know how to block. You can see here they just line him up correctly for that and take out his mid-range. Oh, 3-man block up. That gave him many.
I think Logan Clark got a hand on it as well. That was a combined block, but definitely
power.
Split. And we are going 5. Did we expect anything else from UEL/Malory versus Essex?
No.
What drama we have at the Essex Sport Arena. Another 5-set thriller. And don't forget, we talked about it in the pre-game. Those of you joining us late, this might be encounter 1 of 4 between these sides over the last 2 months of the season. Final 4, possibly a cup final, possibly a Bucks final as well.
Yeah, this is just very good practice for them to sort of feed each other out, find each other's weaknesses, expose each other. I think the real thing is, if Essex Rebels were getting most of their serves in, this would be a much more even game, especially in that 4th set.
Chat, you win. 82% of you said this was going 5. Now the question is, who's winning it? Get your thoughts in the comments. The poll question's going to go up shortly. Reminder, Final 4 at Crystal Palace, 5th and 6th of April. These 2 sides are guaranteed to be there. That point for Malory guarantees it officially. There was a very outlandish scenario that they didn't make it, but that guarantees it for the Eagles. And you can get 20% off your tickets today with the code SLL20. That is SLL20 for 20% off tickets to the Final 4 at the Crystal Palace National Sports Centre. Right, quick look at the stats. Jacob Kern, 25 kills on 49 swings with just 4 errors.
He is a massive player for the Rebels. I think he's doing his job extremely well in this game.
Ewan Fraser, 12 points on 29 swings. David Pascal, 8. And Thomas Chanaman, 7 kills as well for Malory Eagles. Nathan Fullerton, 15 on 29 swings. Just 1 error for Fullerton.
Yeah,
10 points for Dalton Budd, 8 for Kwame, and 7 for Logan Clark.
They've given you a good opportunity to just be shut down a little bit more in this game and just made it a bit more uneven between the opposites, unlike the last matchup.
Malory, 0 aces, 11 errors, 6 of those to Kwame. Rebels, 9 aces, 23 errors. And in set 5, how important it is to tighten up errors.
Really important in a 5th set, especially when you've got 10 less points to get, then it's really important, because if you think about it, if JK's got 25 kills, that's the whole set, really. He's already got 2 5th sets under his belt, so not getting errors and not hitting out is a key part of it. So they've just got side out, serve in, serve in.
And it's interesting. Obviously, it's total points is 99-98 to Malory, but where it's interesting, Rebels have 78 points total, Malory 55. So we talk about the amount of errors for Essex, and that's given Malory 20 extra points.
Yeah, though when you hear those stats, it's really incredibly obvious why you need to get your serves in, why you need to make smart decisions offensively if you can't kill the ball.
Here we go, set 5, Lone Clark to serve, and Cam Kern gets his first kill of the game.
That's his second or third dump, I think. That's really important for Cam to just establish that, oh look, even when the fourth attempt.
1 of 4. Hey, 250 is a decent hitting percentage.
It is for a setter, yeah. He hasn't had much opportunity. I think when you have Davin and TJ front row, you just want to set them.
Just below his season average of 0.333 as Cam Kern, big server for the Rebels, had a big serving day. 6 aces, 4 errors, make that 5.
Just like that, Cam has put the set score back to 0-0 really.
Shut him in, onto the 3-meter line. Jacob Kern pushes it wide, no touch. Julia Haney right on the spot.
He was grasping for lie then, but Jules will not give him any if it's not in.
Back set, Kern into the block. Ianu with the recovery. Fraser goes tip. Bunn's going to get there over Martinez.
Ewan was lucky not to touch the net then.
Fullerton has to tip it over. Kern plays it. Fraser cross court kill.
I'm pretty sure that went in between Nathan Fullerton's arms actually, which is quite impressive from Ewan because Nathan's a very hard blocker to get around. So if he's managed that, that'll really make him happy for the rest of the day. You can see him grinning right now on court actually.
Jacob Kern way over the baseline. So 3 errors, 2 kills for the Rebels in 5 points to start set number 5.
JC's camera's getting a little beaten up in this game. He's not too happy about it.
Oh dear. Thomas shut him in, goes tip. Martinez has to play it. So Malory out of system. Fullerton goes cross court. Ianu's going to chase it down, but it'll be a free ball given up by Thomas Jefferson. Bund takes it. Middle attack. Big block Jefferson. Another free ball from Malory. That's short. Fullerton puts it over. Jefferson misses.
Long, but Julia Haney has given the touches, and I believe there were. I must say, Dylan just did a really impressive thing through the middle there. He went for the footwork for a gap, showed that he was going a little bit wide, then he used his second step to cut back in and go for an A, but unfortunately for him, I think TJ caught, or is it Davin? Davin, sorry, caught on very early on and just managed to close that down.
And Fullerton's going to be kicking himself. That's a free ball for the Eagles, and he puts it over on the first touch.
We're still at 3-3 though, it's practically 0-0 on the set score.
I will not repeat what I've just been shown from an update from Stockport Blaze because I don't want to get anyone into trouble. We'll bring you a score as soon as we get it. It's Kwame finds the first winner for Malory in set number 4.
Touches and touches with these swings. It seems both teams are just trying to find the quick and easy win, which is usually just to play off the block and make the ball kill itself.
60% of you going with Malory to win set number 5. And
that is the logical vote.
I mean, they've done it 3 times. I wouldn't say lightning strikes 4 times. And Pascal early on it.
High set for Pascal.
Fullerton, he's been quiet, no longer huge.
Fortunately, I don't think Davin closed the block well enough then on Fullerton, which is something you just cannot do. If someone is a big, heavy arm, they are just going to hit through gaps all day. And you can see there, I think Tom jumped up and then continued to jump sideways as he went up, not quite closing that block.
So it'll be Dylan Cohn. Fine, shut him in. Kern from the pipe beat Bund.
Swing! You can see why it's just so scary when he does that from the back court. Davin went up for that fake, pulled away all of the attackers and defenders thinking, oh, he's going to go there, and then JK swings in from the back row.
Martinez, tight set, finds Clark. No, huge recovery by the Malory setup. Shudderman. Ianu has to play it. Shudderman's going to have to wait on the 3-meter line and finds the kill.
Beautiful smart swing.
Huge swing by Thomas Shudderman. That was going to be a 3-ball Malory, potentially, but Ianu did a great job on the set.
On back to serve. If he gets this in, it's a really deadly serve. Oh, he's gone for a safe float serve. I think that is probably the smart option.
Yeah, he's taken a lot of pace off it since the early points as Kwame finds the winner over the block of Kern and Pascal.
Great swing into a late block.
Second kill of the 5th set for Ben, Kwame and Malory. 1 point away from the change of ends we see in set 5. As Kwame goes into the net first. Error of the set for Malory.
Surprised they didn't sub him off. He hasn't been serving very well that game, but I guess it just breaks up the flow a little bit too much.
Yeah, do you want to use a sub to get him back on as well? Double
Yeah.
sub this early in set 5. If you rotate round to him, maybe that's what he does. Pascal stays in the game. Alex Porter doing the same thing. Bun beats Shudderman over his head, and
Like
Malory
Coach said,
will win the first race to 8, and we will change side 8-6 Eagles.
he loves that off-the-hand swing is all he goes for. If you haven't set your block up correctly, he will use and abuse it all day long. You have to set your block up correctly on bunt.
Can confirm Stockport stay alive in the Dynamic Men's Super League. A 3-0 win over Essex. Team Essex. So Team Essex now in a little bit of a hole. As Logan Clark, after the change of ends, Jacob Kern into the block, one-handed stab by Kwame. Dalton Bunn's going to run round it and try and go big, but makes the error. So Cam Kern, rare service error by him the first time, and he goes wide this
We
time.
had a bit of a late call from the line judge then. She wasn't too sure if that was in or out, but I think
she was thinking long, but obviously the line had a better angle across court.
Jules is in charge of that line. She made that call.
So second service error by Cam Kern, who had a terrific service day prior to that.
Nice strong float serve.
Back set, Jacob Kern off the head, I think, of Dalton Bunt.
Yeah, I don't know quite where that came off of, but he's using the hand smart and he's keeping that score tight, so that's all we need him to do on the Rebel side.
But Malory continued to side out. They've been perfect to side out so far through 9 points.
It's interesting, isn't it? They were late coming into the game, but now they seem to have really tightened up, and this is the best that I've Malory play, really. They just side out over and over again.
Jacob Kern goes big, Bund pushes Martinez wide, goes a little tight. Fullerton trying to play it for the touch, but can't, and we are tied at 9.
Good setup by you in there to get TJ just inside the net so that they don't get caught out with the tip being rolled off onto the outside of the court.
Timeout, Jefferson Williams. We are knotted up 9 points apiece.
The Rebels been having a bit of fun over there. They always try and make their warm-ups and timeouts interesting. They, England Junior, Nathan Paul is on the bench for the Rebels team as the backup setter.
Yeah, Nathan Hall, the serving sub last week with no Ben Osborne.
He has a great serve, actually. It's a smart quarter. JK back to serve at 9-9.
It's always risky having to use a setter's serving sub in case something happens, though.
I'm sure he'd like to swing if given the opportunity.
Kwame, Martinez, another set. Fullerton, blocked again, the same combination.
Very happy with himself there. That will give him a big ego boost during the rest of this set.
And Nathan Fullerton really struggling in set number 5.
It's an uncomfortable position for him, I think, going through the pin. He's got a lot less of his normal shots that you would through opposite. It's flipped to the other side. You have to use your body in a different manner.
Rebels back in the lead. First one early as Kern goes long.
That was just long. It was a really tight serve by JK. That's exactly the sort of service they needed, though, just to get the upper hand on Malory.
4th service error for the Rebels in set number 5. As Ianu targeted in service here. I haven't seen him see a lot of balls. Kern just stayed in the back row. That's going to be tight on his foot.
I mean, especially when you have a hitter who's just going to go up and hit your libero without any fear. You know that they've got a heavy arm, so to watch him do that and then beat the libero on any team is very impressive. TJ back to serve with his hybrid serve. Always hard to pass as it spins sideways.
3rd kill of set 5 for Jacob Kern. Cohen down the middle.
Gap set again. We see that offense has worked really well for him. He's very happy about that. Martinez has really found a good connection with him through the gap.
And these two sides refuse to be separated. I don't know the set 5 scores in the Bucks games. I remember one was definitely close, but Malory won the league fixture 15-9. That won't happen as often. Net tight. Fraser's going to be tight. Fullerton plays it. No lib for Malory. As Kwame's blocked. Cohen recycles and just puts it long.
That was a great play by the Rebels. I think that's the most calm and collected I've seen them in a scramble play in a really long time. Dab in to do the serve receive, get a 3-point pass to start off with. That's a lovely stat for him to have on top of everything else in this game. And then Lefty at the end there pulling his hands away from a hit that was going out just.
Second kill error for Malory. As Fullerton on his strong
Big
side, Ian
dig.
with a dig. Kern can't rescue anywhere near the court. A huge scramble by the Canadian. What hustle late in set 5.
Lefty's ability to pop a ball up high is very impressive, but unfortunately it just wasn't quite close enough to the court.
$12 apiece. Nothing splitting these two sides. Kern fakes for Pascal. Kern misses the back line. Jacob Kern bites his jersey. And we've got subs coming.
He was a little bit in his head then. The block went up one way and then moved the other, and he hadn't quite decided where he was going to hit that ball. Just hit it out long in a last-minute decision.
And timeout, Alex Porter. 13-12, Malory leads set 5.
It's a good timeout. If they crept away now, then there'd be no chance of getting this set back.
What a game we are watching. Share the stream, get your thoughts about an MVP in the comments as well. It's been a big game by multiple people here in the dynamic Men's Super League. First of a double-header. Malory Eagles, UEL women, Essex Rebels women on deck.
The Essex Rebels were just calling for a mopper to come on and just mop up Lefty's sweat, I believe. Oh, I believe someone has just got, JK's cut his arm on the carpet going for that dive, and there's some blood on the court, so we're just having a quick medical timeout at the moment to get rid of the blood.
That's a great timeout for Essex Rebels.
Yeah, real.
Talk about icing the server.
Nathan Fullerton back out to serve as well, so this will be a real test of his experience. He's holding the ball there, looking a little bit lost about why we're taking such a long time on the timeout.
But with blood on court, he's going to call the captain over, Logan Clark.
You can see Porter's just pointing out the many places that JK's managed to lead.
Well, Kat Tolley's no longer on duty, so who's staff here with a spilled kit? There's got to be someone in the building.
I think they've just run off to get a cloth that they don't mind getting blood on, because we have the 2012 Olympic mops on the Essex Rebels facilities, and I don't think they're ready to get them bloody.
I'm hoping there is a proper spills kit. The question is, does this give enough time for, and this is interesting, this delay gives enough time for Rebels. They don't need to rush this, because Jacob Kern's not going to be able to play with blood if he's bleeding. but this should give Rebels enough
Well,
time to tape it up.
if they're bleeding so much, they have to be taken off. But I think he's just got a little scrape that's stripped everywhere. You can see it's all bandaged up. It does look like it's in a little bit of an uncomfortable position on his elbow, but Ham's just spoken to the referee about why they really cannot go back on court if there's blood everywhere.
Well, the referee called Logan Clark over, the Malory captain.
Logan Clark is running to fill up his bottle now.
They are just talking about the repair. And referees confirming, I believe that's Richard Dabrowski, that side, that he'll be happy for Kern to return, asking the players to...
Now Cam and Tom have both spoken to the referee. Oh, Tom's just going for a...
Logan Clark's run off, presumably to get his water bottle.
Yeah. Oh, we've got the med kit here.
Med kit! Question is anyone trained to use it? No pressure on Super League Live.
We'll just make the women's team sit a bit longer as well, let them fester in their game plans.
Alex Chinnery has no faith in me knowing what's going on. That's hateful to see.
He's got me with... Right, just text back, Tara's with you. Mum, I'm team mum of the Essex Rebels women's team. I know everything that goes on. Everyone comes to me with their issues, so... When JK got injured at the UEL game...
What's going on? Everything. Here we go. What do you think... I'm going to put you in a tough spot here.
Yeah.
What's the mentality for Nathan Fullerton right now? You're on the serve line. You've got a long time to wait.
Looks a little bit uncomfortable, doesn't he, over there by the bench?
You just go ball in play and just make Rebels earn it? Or do you go big knowing you're 1 point up and maybe an ace wins the game?
I'd hope that with his experience he'd take his full 8 seconds, do a proper service routine, really think about it and calm down, but it's such an isolated action in volleyball.
I'm almost surprised you don't get a couple of subs of warming up. Even the players, both teams are staying loose. Do you get serving if you're Nathan Fullerton?
Yeah, I think
Jefferson's
just walked over and said to him, like, why are you stood there thinking? Can you please just go over and warm up? And he's just started to warm up with Harry Jones on the sideline there. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I think his mentality should just be to be calm about it. He's got a lot of experience behind him. You can see the Malory women are warming up on the sideline now as well.
Indeed. See there, Nathan Fullerton who's getting a couple of swings and trying to free the arm up. Blood everywhere, what drama.
We've got people with gloves on, we've got bags, we've got paper towels out.
Hey, the only thing that would be worse is match point down, right, as a server?
Yeah, I mean, if you're making me bet 50-50 here, I would bet it goes into the net. If it's a spin serve, if it's a float serve, I think that'd be the smart option for him to just go and get the ball into play.
Right, here we go. Nathan Fullerton, 82.5% success rate, leads Malory Eagles in aces at 10, but also leads errors at 32.
Yeah, if I was him, I'd float serve it in, over the net. Maybe if he can get the aim on right, aim it away from lefty, just try and get the ball into play and trust that they can block the ball. But if he's going to go out there and absolutely cork a spin serve in, then I would bet that it goes into the net band, unfortunately. It's just how it normally is.
Nathan Fullerton today, 17 serves, no errors, no aces. So
you can see the Malory men are getting a little bit restless. They're walking around the court looking for blood themselves. I think the injury might have happened a few points ago, actually, and there was blood on the ball, which
well,
is why
I'm going to predict there's nothing on the Malory side.
No, I mean, Carol, the coach, you can see dancing away there. I think she dances at least once every single game.
It's not Super League if Carol doesn't get a dance in.
No, I remember Final Four last year, she was stood up on the podium with JC having a little boogie.
We had opening weekend, the opening weekend dance party as well.
Yeah.
As we look like we're almost ready to go as we get the slow hand claps in at the Essex Sport Arena.
Stan's always good at his job and gets the Rebel fans
DJ,
active.
big dog balling, mate. There's Carol.
There she is.
I'm not going to say her timing is exquisite. JC's timing is on point to our left. You can probably hear that bursting through the mics. But we don't have a very engaged crowd at 13-12, Tara. What are we doing?
No, I mean, there's some fans here doing it, but I think I'll go have a word with the second teams that are sat down there and say they better cheer for our game a little bit more. The Essex Rebels have come back into our huddle to talk about the next point.
Yeah, we
Malory
look like
still
we're
at the
nearly
peppering.
ready. The Malory girls having a little dance in the towel wave led
Here
by
we are,
Jojo.
we're going
Nathan
back.
Fullerton, huge swing to finish.
Yeah, let's see.
Your coach just takes me, who starts first, us or Lionhearts? Lionhearts starts at 6, so
I'm going to guess
point
Lionheart.
flip. Because either way with the next change to warm up will be a
Warm up.
while. reminder, those of you joining us, we had blood on the court. Referee Richard Desbrowse is going to check everyone's in the right spot because, to be fair, this would be a bad time for a service, a rotation error by either team. And after timeout, obviously a lot can go. You expect this
We're
ball.
just getting some more paper towels onto the court.
Oh God.
Oh, I think they're just
they're moving it
precautionary.
now, yeah.
Precautionary.
So
Never
we're
again.
expecting Fullerton to go off pace, probably the way they've gone, aiming at shutting in.
Yeah.
And will Rebels set Jacob Kern?
I'm going to bet that he goes for the spin serve and just goes for it. It'll be really interesting to see if he chooses to do something else. But we also just lost the match ball for 5 seconds there, so it's just chaotic all around. This is really a chance for both teams to show their composure.
One eternity later in the comments, I agree. Nathan Fullerton, 13-12 Malory, set 5. Shut him in. Kern, Pascal misses the baseline. Huge opportunity, and Pascal.
I really thought I saw Bud clutch that off of his arm when he went for the dive then, but the line judge called it out. Nathan went for the safe serve as well and just said, let me get this in. Same again.
Match point 2 to Malory. Kern out of system. Bone. Set a change for Malory. Kwame goes into the block and wide. Malory Eagles steal it. 3 sets
Smart
to 2
play
for
to
the
end the
4th
game.
time. Ben Kwame, what a decision to end this dramatic game.
That's a really smart play by Ben. I think they just needed to close down the set. I'm really proud of Nathan for going back there and float serving it and not going with the 50-50 spin shot. You can see the Malory women are running onto court very happy for their team.
3rd kill of set 5 for Ben Kwame. What a time to do it. And we missed the setter change as well. Huge credit to Malory for coming up with that one.
Just trying to find who it was.
I've got paper everywhere. It's been a long game. It's been a thrilling game, Carl King. How do we sum that one up?
Honestly, I think the Rebels started off strong as they normally do. However, their service, as usual, was a little bit inconsistent and gave away points. But Malory just held up strong, stuck their heads down, got on with it, and that was really impressive to see. And at the end, they pulled through with their smart decision making, and I think that won them the game.
Double high fives for the Malory Eagles as the women's team onto court to cheer their guys on. Ben Kwame with a monster leap. Alex Porter brings the family onto court as well.
Yeah, his daughter's always high-five the team, whether we've lost or won, so it's always a quite sweet moment.
Big point for the Rebels, though. They are still 2 points clear of Malory.
Yes, they are. I think
3 points clear, correction.
I think it's a big thing for them. However, this will always give them more opportunities to see how they can improve from here. So it's a nice opportunity for both teams to sort of feel out the others' improvement across the season. Obviously, we saw Malory play Essex in the first half, and now we're playing them in the second half again. So it's interesting.
Stay with us. We'll get post-game reaction from Malory Eagles. And Tara, before I let you go get ready, because I know you want to get ready. Big game for you right now. What's the mentality of the team going in? Haven't beaten Malory in a long time.
Positivity. I think we're coming off of quite a heavy month for the Essex Rebels. We've lost a few basketball players in a previous car accident, and I think it's driven us to find new heights in volleyball in terms of being positive and going out playing for those who can't, and it's helped us see the court a bit differently. So I hope going into this game we just take each point as it comes, shake off any points that we lose and move forward in a positive manner.
Well, as commentary debuts go, you got a thriller. Appreciate you joining us, and
I loved it.
enjoy
Thank
it.
you.
As we'll let Tara go get ready.
Thank you very much. Right, stay for the women's game. Thank you.
Most definitely stay with us here at Super League Live. We'll bring our player of the game up shortly. Malory Eagles still in a bit of a huddle. We'll try and get some final stats as well as a dramatic day in the Dynamic Men's Super League. Wins for Stockport and London Giants, Newcastle Knights, and now Malory Eagles. As we get ready to bring you some post-game reaction. Reminder, it's the women's game next. We imagine that'll be 5:55, 6 o'clock first serve. Build up from 5:45-ish. As we get some final stats come through. Malory winning 25-21, 26-28, 27-25, 20-25, and then the 5th set 15-12. 29 points, including 27 kills for Jacob Kern in a losing effort. 19 points for Devon Pascal, including 9 blocks. But as for Malory, leading the way, 5 points on blocks for Nathan Fullerton, 5 for Dylan Cohen. as they recorded 22 points and 10 respectively. Dalton Bunt with 11 points, quiet afternoon, struggled in set 1, but came back big, and 11 as well for Ben Kwame. We'll take a quick break and bring you post-game reaction very shortly here from the Essex Sport Arena. And welcome back to the Essex Sport Arena. Malory Eagles beating Essex Rebels for the 4th time this season, 3-2. Here our player of the game, Malory said to Joel Martinez. Joel, 2-1 down. What was the team talk going into set 4?
We thought we were just going through the motions. There was no energy on the court, really. We were just kind of seeing where things were going. We were waiting for something to happen instead of making something happen. So, just in the timeouts, it was go back to square one, breathe through it, and then we'll start building our own energy instead of feeding off of what they were doing.
And obviously, dramatic games. You know Essex, you know they're going to go back and forth. Just talk about for you as in the same position, trying to spread the ball out. Like set 1, it was a real struggle for the middles to get going. Dylan and Logan really struggled. Devin Pascal had a monster set, but you slowly got them into the game, and that energy really fed the team.
Yeah, like I said, again, we were just trying to make something happen, but without really putting any intention behind it. So just kind of throwing the ball here and there. Thankfully, our coaching staff they're very good at nitpicking little things. So just move the ball a little bit around, not just the same space every time. And it was just all the hitters give me enough confidence to move the ball around. It's kind of hard to figure out who you're going to say. You only have one ball. So it's definitely tough, but it's really good to have all these weapons. And yeah, we just started picking up, and they just started getting their confidence and just kind of came together at the end.
What was the mindset in that blood delay? 13-12 picks, obviously Nathan on the service line. What was kind of the mindset for you trying to clinch the game?
Don't get cold, basically, yeah. It was just, things happen, that's fine. It's a really, you can fall into a pit and just not know what's going to happen, just part of the game. But yeah, it was just keeping each other warm, talking about what we were going to do, and just having that focus of getting those 2 points in a row.
And quick turnaround now, game against Richmond tomorrow.
Woo, well, that's going to be good, yeah.
Obviously, Richmond took points off Essex last week.
Yeah.
How important now is it, though, to try and get that through that clean and put pressure on Essex if you want that number 1 feed for the Final Four?
Yeah, so we were actually talking about this after the match. With UEL, we played Essex on the opening day. So it was just a really tough match, and then we got to kind of, not really cruise, but just kind of have some time to really figure things out. And we haven't really played a match like this in a while, so it was just getting back to square one, and then obviously focusing on tomorrow, so just taking the momentum from right now and trying to simulate the same thing tomorrow.
Well, busy week for you, but semi-final as well on Wednesday at UEL,
Yes,
but that is our player of the game. Joel Martinez, Malory Eagles beat Essex 3-2. We'll be right back in 20 minutes for the Essex Rebel women as they take on Malory. Thank you for joining us here on Super League Live.
Thank you.